Hello, beauties. Welcome back to Citizen Sleeper. We're fuck it, we ball. I hope everybody's having a wonderful Tuesday. I hope you had a good day yesterday, a wonderful Monday, and it didn't kill you to death. Hello, Megan. Okay, so right now this is the hollow, if I'm not incorrect. So we need the array. We gotta get the. Wait, did I get a haircut? No. My hair is I have it up right now. That's all. I did not get a haircut. My hair is not short. It will be a cold day. If I ever actually cut my hair, there is something wrong. No, I did not get a hair. No, I have it. It's ponytail. See? Yeah, I just have it up. No, I. Holy shit. Okay. I don't think we actually. I think, if I recall, we had nothing to do. There's the debris dealer and stuff. I think we can sell processed scrap there, but I want to keep some because I feel like some processed scrap, in the end, might be a little useful for me. We need supplies. Notice that. Ooh, that would have been stupid. Do I buy supplies here? I do. Might as well fuel up. Usually not fuel isn't a bad price. I mean, it's not free, but... Get away from Holmes Rock, so we gotta go back to Holmes Rock for that. I don't think we've been to the scatter yards yet, have we? So we could jump from the scatter yards to the rock. That's what I'm thinking. The winking sigils of the yards flash across the dark starscape of the belt. Each one a siren light for recruits in need of repairs or eager for improvements. The scatter yards live up to their reputations. Reputations. Fuck me. But Seraphin will not be drawn by the lights. He guides the ship into an empty, ragged-looking yard, darker and more frame than plate. It looks rougher than any of the others. Seraphin, we may not want to dock somewhere. Maybe we want to dock somewhere a little more welcoming. We aren't that hard up. Bliss turns to you. Are we worse off than I thought, Sleeper? I have almost 500 credits sitting in my pocket. Best shipwrights rarely have the brightest signs. Thought you'd know that, Bliss. Seraphin reaches up and flicks a set of switch above his head. Marco's the best in the scatter yards. The best? Or just the best you know? Bliss gives him a skeptical look. You'll see. Seraphin smiles widely, shutting off the main console and unclipping from the pilot seat. We're safe here. Seraphin turns to you. No need to run from Lane for a while. They'll never find us in Marco's yard. It'd be nice to have a break from the running. Junie floats at the back of the cockpit. I hear the scatter yards have some good data analysis terminals on the hub. Junie glances at you. If you can spare me. Nia glides into the cockpit. We here? Femi loves this place. She glances up at you with a smile. All these grumpy spacers waiting on repairs. I think it fits his temperament. You follow Seraphin as he glides eagerly to the airlock. You and Bliss exchange glances. Both of you are used to Seraphin's headstrong moments. Yet you still can't help but feel that a now familiar pull of someone else's problems. Marco! Seraphin opens his arms to the figure coming through the cycling airlock. Finn! Marco floats through the doorway, a crooked smile across his pale face, his sharp eyes glinting in the rig's bright work lights. The two embrace in more of a chest bump than a hug, Seraphin spinning with the momentum of the impact to end with his arm across Marco's shoulder, the two side by side grinning. You notice Marco's eyes quickly falling on you, a slight narrowing, suggesting his immediate thoughts about your presence. So, this is who you're flying with now, Finn. Marco shoots you a wink, his expression shifting to conceal his previous curiosity or concern. Bliss, they introduce themselves curtly. Yeah, I said that right. Jesus fucking Christ. You two used to be on a crew together, I assume? I'm fucking fumbling. It's only the first 5 minutes. Me and Finn? No, we're just drinking buddies. Marco's response provokes a laugh from Seraphin, some kind of joke you can't quite catch the tone of. Marco turns his attention to you. And a sleeper, he smiles. My condolences. It's a damn crime what those corporations do to you. But at least you're out, huh? We'll just nod. Marco doesn't miss a beat. Marco turns back to Seraphin. It's been too long, Finn. Not flying with old Betty anymore? You immediately see the reaction in Seraphin, his entire being tightening without anything more than a shudder to signify it. No, that's long done. Marco shrugs. That's the way of the belt. He shakes Seraphin by the shoulder. Come on then. Enough floating around in this drafty old thing. Let's get a drink. Marco turns his attention to you. Feel free to make yourself at home in the yard. Hell, take a little fuel. I've got loads of the stuff, and it's been quiet for more than a few cycles. Happy to spare some for a friend. He stares Seraphim down the docking tunnel, waving a hand to you and calling back. I'll have him home in a cycle or two. His laughter echoes down the tunnel as they leave. Bliss turns to you. I'm gonna dig around to the other yards for components the rig could do with. They smile. You got things to do? I always have things to do. You think of Cadet and wonder if she found her way here to the scatter yards to extract the data on the hexport drive. The only way to know would be to find her. Seraphin's words echo in your mind, his insistence that the only way to escape Lane is to beat him on his home turf, with Darkseid just sunward of the scatter yard. This might be the perfect platform from which to attempt such a wild and dangerous plan. Sleeper, Bliss brings you out of your thoughts. I hate it when you do that. Just take care out there, okay? They drift off down the docking tunnel, leaving you in the airlock. The funny thing, I think I know what's wrong. Is it what's wrong? Oh God, they try to drown me in that hope! Megan, I seem to have failed as a streamer. Give me a second. I need to go, get water. I need to go get water. I'll be right back. Just take care out there, okay? They drift off down the docking tunnel, leaving you in the airlock. It seems the next step is up to you. Was that? Hell yeah! Now you can read properly. That's so true. I don't know. That I was fucking. I felt kind of bad. That was gross. I won't lie. I felt like fucking Slam for a second there. I don't know if you heard that shit properly, but I did. Infamous shipfitter yard. Junior shipfitter. Lamau. Okay. Okay, so that one gave me 12 cryo. What does this one give me? They're the same. We'll do engineer then, because I like engineer as a skill more. Not super worried. Oh, my cryo! No! 10 cryo! Fuck! 20 cryo! Hey, you hear a voice echoing through the public passage. Wait up! It's Cadet! I'm glad to see you. Cadet sweeps her hair out of her eyes and then glances up at and down the corridor. This is not my kind of station. Cadet rolls into her complaints. All the yards have their own water and facilities, meaning the hub here is not fit for general use. There's a couple guest houses, but you would not believe the state of them with all the spacers that stop here for short leave, she shudders. You don't want to know. Sorry I couldn't come sooner. Oh, on the run. I get it, she shrugs. You and me both. So, get this. Cadet locks her fingers together and stretches her arms. That girl of mine, I said could crack anything, she's gone. Didn't even leave a note. Ran a dark side, maybe? Not that I blame her given the state of this place. She looks sideways at the grumpy walls. She left her workshop empty, though, so I slipped in. This is where I've been napping. I've been doing my best all these cycles to crack that drive, but, she sighs, I'm a spindlejack, not a data scraper. Which is why I'm happy to see you, she takes a breath. Telling you I've not spoken to anyone in a long time, she runs a hand through her hair. How about the alert they put on you? Doesn't seem to stretch too far out of the spindle, but I've been careful, she glances around. Hence the not talking to anyone in ages bit. Look, I'm in over my head here. Cadet looks away, annoyed at herself. How about you come down to the workshop? We put our heads together, see what we can pull out. I just know there's some nasty shit on that drive. Stuff worth getting out into the light, Cadet sets her jaw. Nasty enough for them to ruin my life over. I'll be there. Cadet smiles for a moment, then it's gone. Alright then. The workshop is in the tech cluster. You'll see it, she sighs. Now I gotta go find something to eat that isn't dried. She turns and disappears back down the passageway. Spent drive. Cadet's workshop. Yeah, they can keep scavenging for fuel. That works. Fuel. Ooh. Well, let's see. Why not? You know what I mean? Why not? That's some quality work you've been doing. The voice booms through the locker after your fitter ship. Why are you doing grunt work, sleeper? You turn to see a large man with a metal arm and bright patterned clothes. You spent enough time to immediately know this is Shurya, owner of the yard and well-known ship fitter. Well, Shurya wipes his metallic hand on cloth, polishing its painted surface. What do you have to say for yourself? Wanted to meet you. Shurya smiles. Well, I'm here, aren't I? I know a lot of what happens in the scouter yard, sleeper. When I don't know, people tell me. He smiles proudly. And I know you have a ship. Someone who has a ship, especially a ship like yours, should not be lugging around my workers' tools. Shurya flexes his artificial arm, inspecting it. That, to a person like me, is a waste. Ships cost cryo to run. True. All the more reason to really use them, though, isn't it? Megan, send that guy to hell. I want to take a look at your ship, sleeper. Shurya goes back to working on the hand. Call it professional curiosity. It's a bit drab. Shurya looks up and meets your eye. An old Solheim rig, still in corporate colors. He shakes his head. No. I feel like that's your problem. People want a crew that looks the part. An outfit with an outfit. Eat shit, shit eater. He grins. Hell yeah, Megan. Hell yeah. Get him. Look at my yard. I grew up from a chunk of scrap by showing people I was a professional. I had standards. I made Shurya's yard recognizable. Your problem is you're working as a shipfitter's mate, when you should be imagining much more for yourself and your crew, Shurya smiles. So that got me thinking. Got his ass. I want to help you. Clean up that old rig. Paint it up. Give it some color. He tucks his cloth away in his tool belt. How does that sound? I love that. Perfect, Shurya booms. The thing is, you don't just slap some paint on an old rig like that, and for this to work, we need it to reflect your crew, your style. So I'm happy to do painting with my team. I need you to go find some inspiration. Shurya looks away towards the locker room's lone window. Luckily, the belt is full of it, full of pattern, texture, and style. There's nothing uniform about this place, and it's the better for it. Shurya looks back at you. You need to go out there, find some views, some sights, and make your own designs. Here, he proudly pulls a small slate from his tool bag. It has a 64 color screen. I fixed it up myself. You take and inspect the slate, made from mismatched pieces, but elegantly so. See what you find to inspire you, he smiles. Then come see you again. Come see me again. Thank you. I can see what you're thinking. You're thinking, what's in it for me financially? Shuria's eyes you carefully. How does this make you any chits? That's the other part of the proposal. While you take this voyage around the belt, you can do something for me and get paid for it. Free of charge, I will paint your rig with the look and the name of my yard here. Shuria's Yard. It commands respect. He nods sagely. You take that to the rest of the belt, represent it, and on your travels, spread it to other crews. For this, I will pay you 300 cryo. It's mutually beneficial. You will earn better doing this than any yard work, and I get increased custom. What's not to like? Shuria awaits your response calmly, but you feel expectant eyes on you. It's a deal. Why not? Wonderful, Shuria beams. I will send my team over immediately. By the time you return to your rig, they should be done. He reaches into his work pouch. Here is 150 cryo now. He takes out a handful of high value chits. Another 150 cryo when you return with those designs. Yeah, sure. You take the cryo. Of course. I will give you the other half when you return with those designs. He smiles apologetically. I need to be sure you don't repaint your ship before the pilgrimage is done. It's only fair. Keep the slate. He waves an arm at you to put it away. Go find inspiration. Bring me those designs. I don't want to see you back in this shipyard. You need to be out there, Shuria smiles. It was a pleasure. And before you can say anything else, he is gone. Time to find out what his crew have done to your rig. That's true. Let's take a look. What has he done? Okay. Low key, I fuck with that heavy. I'm not gonna lie to you. I kind of fuck with that heavy. Not my favorite, but it's pretty good. I don't think that's a bad color scheme at all. Oh no. Well, I have 6s, so it's fine. The dark data. Okay, that's where I can get food when I get hungry. Let's do a little shop talk. Amongst the yards. Yard supply, I'm assuming, yeah. Supplies, fuel, normal, basic stuff. I'm wondering what's that. Alright. End the cycle. I'm sure it's gonna be whatever the fuck is gonna happen tomorrow is not gonna be awesome. Oh, hey, it's Eugen. Eugen finds you in a quiet corner of the rig. Seraphim just gave me something I think you need to see. Eugen has been uncharacteristically quiet since your journey to the Athelion's path resting place, and even now there is a seriousness to him that you do not recognize. He produces a personal terminal, a slate, and shows you the screen. On it is a message from the Singers, from Peter. I am pleased to report the fraction drive's extraction was a success. You hear the gravelly voice in your mind as you read, thanks to your choice to concede. Conway attempted pursuit, but Singer ships are fast and quiet, and we soon lost them in debris. You smile. Peter's arrogance is clear, even in writing. We have now begun on the project to implement and expand the fraction drive, which is why I am writing to you. Encrypted with this message is a full scan of the drive itself, its components and systems. You exchange a glance with Eugen. I believe you deserve as much for your integrity in our encounter. I'm glad we didn't have to kill you. What you do with the plans is up to you, but I would recommend you do not attempt to sell or publish them unless you wish to attract further attention from Conway. The Singers will soon leave Helion, and in part, we have to acknowledge your role in making this possible. We wish you safe passage on your journey. Peter. At the bottom of the message, a handful of encrypted files open up to reveal an insanely complex set of scans and diagrams, the fraction chart. You look up at Eugen, who has a sharp smile on his face. The bastard did it, he shakes his head. And I have you to thank for stopping me from killing him. You should listen to me more. Eugen laughs. I'll do my best, Captain, but no promises. Building is another problem. I'm not an engineer. Squints at the diagrams. You need a lot of resources, and the kind of machines only found in places like Darkside. With time, research, who knows, Eugen grins. The point is, it's possible. We have the plans, the path is there. You see it now. Eugen's swagger returning, for better or for worse. This project fuels him. It's on the back burner for now. We have more immediate things to deal with. He slips the terminal away. But I'll start calling in favors, quietly investigating how real this is. Do it carefully. He nods. I have learnt my lesson. Eugen frowns, something dark crossing his face. Look, I know this is exciting, but he pauses, unsure of his words. We know what people did to claim this drive, he swallows. What I did. Eugen taps the terminal. Part of me wants to delete these right now, he looks down. They make me afraid what I'll do to fulfill them. It won't be like that. Perhaps you're right, he smiles weakly. I want to believe it. He slips the slate away. The way you treat me, it makes me believe something. His brow knits, his own words irritating him. But I'm not sure what it is. And I'm not much of a believer. Eugen looks down. You can see he's fighting with himself. I don't like to owe people. He pats you on the shoulder. For you, I'll make an exception. With that, he turns away, gliding back through the ship and out of sight. A fraction drive of your own. A machine to cut a path through the stars. You shake your head. It's hard not to dream. But you've seen the danger of that dream, too. That it drove Eugen and others to do. Perhaps together, you can keep each other on the narrow path to the future without straying into obsession. Or perhaps thinking of those impossibly complex plans will never come to pass. Are they a diagram of your future, or a labyrinth to become lost in? The only way to know is to live it, together. So true. Sleeper, Seraphine's voice echoes through the ship. You in here? You glide down the airlock, unsure of what state you're about to find your pilot in. Seraphine floats in the airlock, his arms above his head, gripping the lip of the interior door to hold himself in place. Come on, we need to talk. There's a straight-faced seriousness to Seraphine that you weren't expecting, especially in considering that he spent the past 2 cycles with Marco. Seraphine leads you across the bridge, but rather than turn towards the automated shuttle bay that connects Marco's yard to the rest of the assembly, he leads you deeper into the guts of the yard itself. As he does, he begins to speak. I told Marco about Lane, about our escape, about everything. Seraphine ducks under a large pipe. He gets it. He worked in Darkside. You trust him? I do. He looks back over his shoulder. And I would hope you trust me by now, too. He comes to a sealed door and hammers in an entry code. Somewhere machines start whirring. Remember in Wellspring, after everything I said, Seraphine turns to face you. I'm taking Lane on? Exactly that. Seraphine meets your eye. The door suddenly squeals across. The door suddenly squeals as the ancient motor kicks in and drags across its corroded tracks to reveal a large, half-lit chamber, its furthest parts masked with lasers and scaffolding, and frames so it is hard to tell where the room actually ends. At the center, in a pool of warm light, Marco floats beside a terminal screen. Sleeper, he touches his brow in a mock salute as you enter. Been busy plotting? Seraphine shoots you a look. Just hear Marco out, alright? You hear the door you enter through screech shut, and then a sudden silence descends. Sorry to drag you out here, Sleeper, but I really can't be overheard on this one, he sighs. We're close to Darkside here, and Uzubo have ambitions, shall we say, in the scatter yards. Finn told me the whole story, and I'm sorry for your troubles. He clasps his hand together. You've done well to evade Lane this far, but you must understand, he's also been distracted. Since Hexport went up, Darkside has been in crisis. If the war was the pressure shift that allowed Mitsubo to build his strength, Hexport was the breach to blow it wide open. Marco springs his hands apart. Hexport's their justification for imposing total control in the name of protection. Marco glances away into the dark corner of the room. If my hunch is right, it's how they extend their reach to the scatter yards. Where's this going? Marco laughs and looks to Seraphine. Straight to business on this one. I'm done running, Sleeper, Seraphine cuts in. I hate looking over my shoulder every cycle. I hate the nightmares, the fear. I want to face this head on, for better or for worse. He looks away, scowling. I won't be controlled by Lane, and this is our chance to break that control. Lane is hunting you, Sleeper, which means he is not in Darkside. Marco raises an eyebrow. This is good for you. There are people in Darkside resisting Utsubo, though I hear it's not going well for them. If you could find them, find out what they need, there's a chance here. Marco pauses, and you get the feeling he's assessing your reaction. Taking action is a choice right now, Sleeper, but soon it won't be. Seraphine glances at Marco. Not if what Marco is telling me is true. Let's do this on our own terms. What do we need to do? Seraphine meets your eye with conviction. Thank you, Sleeper. I know we can do this. Let's not get ahead of ourselves, Marco interrupts. We'll need some time to work this out. If you two want to go to Darkside, there's no way you can take that stolen rig. There's a big enough risk to bring it here, he glances at Seraphine, and you get the feeling he's already been reprimanded for this. So I need to find you a way in, and a way out. Marco rubs his hands together. I know it can be done. Marco turns to you. I recommend that you take the next few cycles to prepare. The scatter yards are a good place to both stand and make cryo, depending on your need. And Finn, Marco puts his hands on his friend's shoulder. Try to stay cool. This will be a recon only, a chance to see what's happening on Darkside and make your connections. It is not a time for grand gestures. Seraphin nods. Thank you, Marco. Glances at you. Keep things quiet until you're ready. You and Seraphin leave the hidden bay, the door screeching open to allow you to exit. When it seals once more, Seraphin turns to you. This is our chance to shift things, Sleeper. Let's keep our heads in the game. Agreed. Start preparing. Seraphin nods. Well, alright then. We should give Marco some time. I've got a few things I want to take care of in Scatter Yards, and I want to get a message to Tala. I know she'd want to hear me before. Trails off. Let's make sure we're ready. Keep your head up, Sleeper. I'll see you on the rig. And with that, Seraphin kicks off down the passage on his way to the shuttle dock. You watch him go, unsure if you are impressed or concerned about his headstrong nature. Either way, things are in motion. The only thing you can do now is give yourself the best chance of success. Oh boy. It's all in motion. Investigate Hexport. Healing and dispatch pirate. Yeah, we gotta get the array from Holmes Rock. We gotta recon Darkside. And repaint our ship. Repaint the rig. Break encryption. Do a little bit of engineering. Among the yards. Fabricator bay, huh? Hey, bay, the hub component fabricators in the hub are for shipfitters only, so they ask a one-time fee to dissuade casual use. Oh, it's a one-time fee? Cool. I'll do that. Build engine. Oh, and you can build engine components, even with the specialized fabricator components. Construction is a delicate art. Component errors. Okay, that's cool. In case we need engine parts. I am hungry. Supply, and of course, Cadet's Workshop. We gotta work here at Cadet's Workshop. That's importante. Did I just get a text? Is that what that was? Give me a second. Today is... yeah. Okay, I was just making sure I wasn't fucking crazy. Sorry, this is important. My apologies, everybody. All right. Come on, neutral. Hey! Cadet catches your eye as you look over at her. What is it? She takes the end of a metal chopstick she has been chewing on out of her mouth. Got something? Keda's given up already for the cycle, and while you were cracking the drive's complex encryption on her friend's workstation, she has been floating in the middle of a small workshop, picking bits of scrap off the shelving on the wall. Okay. Cadet has already given up for the cycle, and while you were cracking the drive's complex encryptions on her friend's workstation, she has been floating in the middle of the small workshop, pinging bits of scrap off the shelving on the wall. Now, she spins in the air and pushes off from the ceiling, spinning as she glides so she lands perfectly behind you, leaning over the terminal screen. As she does, you hit a key, executing the final decryption process. Slick! She goes to ruffle your hair, but you don't have any. Instead, she just wobbles your head playfully. What we got? With Cadet hanging over your shoulder, you try to concentrate on the data, spooling across the screen. The first thing that catches your eye in the steady repetition of CWEXT, an identifier for Conway Extractors, the behemoth conglomerate, and currently waging a corporate war with the Senate in the inner system. Why Conway? What is this data? You stop the scroll, looking for details. Hit that thing, Cadet pokes the screen, making it wobble. You dutifully click, and a comment expands in the code. A note left by someone. It mentions tests and protocols, discusses reverse engineering and carrier signals. You close it and find another drone latency, another security bypass, one more, kill switch. It takes a long time, you and Cadet squinting into the blue screen to build a picture of what you are looking at. When you are done, both of you sit back, your eyes soar, and your minds clogged with technical terminology. Shit, Cadet shakes their head. They were dissecting it live. She is referring to the Conway drone mind this stream of data was scraped from. Huge volumes of internal data, of control systems, protocols, and passphrases. The kind of data you imagine was closely guarded by Conway, kept secrets to allow the smooth operation of its drones. This thing? It's some kind of general or manager, right? Giving orders out to all the little drones that work for it, Cadet squints. I always thought Conway controlled its drones remotely with people. Those zero latency point interfaces you hear about. From what you know, Cadet is right. Conway is known for their novel solution to the scale and logistical problems of the surrogate systems. Extraction and security drone ships piloted from light years away with proprietary comms and interfaces. A drone mind. What this code is scraped from should be kind of a distributor, a relay for the local drones that links to the closely guarded transmitter receiver. But this data suggests otherwise. It suggests an active cognitive process, far more complex than any protocol you have heard of, a thinking machine. Look, Cadet jabs at the screen again. Is that? You see a line of data stream that reads simply, stop, get out, stop, get out, stop, get out, stop, get out. How did they do this? Cadet leans back. Everyone knows captured Conway drones purge themselves and everything else in a couple hundred square clicks around them when captured. Rip the control core out? Sure, you can disassemble it, but its system will be gone. The one was still running when they took it apart. It should have gone up like a tactical nuke the moment they started, she stopped suddenly, the fate of Hexport jumping into her mind. Is that what happened? How did they get all this and get it out on a drive? Silence fills the workshop. You look back on the screen, unsure of the answers to Cadet's questions. You feel a deep chill, one that you know has nothing to do with the temperature of the workshop. Who the hell was doing this? Cadet scans the code once more. Neutral? Hey, neutral! You go back over the data. It's scrubbed clean. Not a mention of who is scraping the data. You go over it again. Nothing. Not a single clue. The thoughts start to process in your mind. Who scrubs data this clean? Who runs Conway drone protocols? Senestat? Or is that too simple, too obvious for it to be Conway's lone opponent in this system-wide war? It's a possibility, so you say it out loud. That'd be my first guess too, Cadet yawns, but it's still a guess. You've been at this too long, Cadet sighs. I'm cooked. She pushes away from the terminal and floats back into the room, stretching out her arching back. We know they have drone mine. We know they had this drone mine on Hexport. That's where they were cutting it, scraping it. We know something happened and Hexport went up. She sketches her thoughts out in the air with a hand, gestures as she summarizes. The data got out on the drive, I'm assuming, before the explosion. Then the far spindle, someone tried to courier it, using me, but the receiver wasn't there. She turns and looks at you, which is why they ruined my life and my job trying to get it back. The data is valuable. That's for sure. Imagine taking control of all of these drones, turning them away or towards any target you wanted. She floats over the drive and picks it up. The thing is, the only way to buy my life back, Cadet frowns at it. The way I see it, we have to expose these fools so they leave me be, or give them the data so they piss off forever. We can't give them this. Not if we don't know who they are, she laughs half-heartedly. Yeah, we can. All roads lead in one direction, I'm afraid. She spins the drive in the air. Back home. Hexport. there's anything to confirm or deny this data, if there's anything connected to, if there's anything left at all, it'll be in the remains of that station. I had a feeling it might come to this, so I made some inquiries when I first got here. The word is that place is irradiated to hell, but I've also heard the radiation is fading, and it's not like half the belt isn't glowing anyway, she shrugs grimly. With suits, we'd have maybe a few cycles before it started to leak through. The problem is getting in. She puts the drive back onto the desk's magnetic surface. Far spindle is a no. Not only do I not want to get picked up there, but the debris is denser on that side. No safe way in. Dark side is the best bet, she shakes her head. But I heard you have some trouble waiting for you there. If I deal with the trouble, then we'd have a clear shot at it, she shrugs. Easier said than done. The place has one hell of a stowaway spot, shielded from everything. Plus the scatter yards are no one's territory. I'm gonna leave the drive here, she squints at you. No peeking. But me, I want to keep moving. So I was thinking I could make myself useful until you shake that trouble on dark side, she smiles. Work for room and board and all that? Could be dangerous. More dangerous than waiting for my troubles to catch up with me? Yeah, I doubt it. What do you say, she folds her arm. You know I'm tough, and I can do plenty besides ride an airbike. Yeah, you're in. That's the answer I was looking for, Cadet scans the workshop. I've had enough of spacer bathrooms for a lifetime. I'll make myself at home on your rig. She picks up the drive and tucks it in a pocket. Cadet glances away at the racks on the wall, and you follow her eyes to spot her airbike where it is hanging, carefully secured and pristinely capped. Cadet gives you a hard look. You have better have room for my bike. Spindlejack, recruit Cadet to your crew. Okay, so we have to wait until Seraphin's ready to go. That's kind of a pain in my ass, but whatever. Whatever. There we go. Now we got fucking scrap components, raw scrap, rare components, all this shit. No, you know, they were saying there's plenty of places to earn cryo, but I'm not seeing a whole lot of ways to earn cryo here, to be quite frank. Yeah, we won't do that. Fuck it, whatever. We'll just sleep it off. You find Seraphin and Marco waiting for you in the hidden room where you met before. They're chatting quietly, their shadows cast across the scaffolding by a small lamp. Sleeper, Marco's got something good, he nods to Marco. Tell him. Marco gives you a quiet nod as you look at him. His mood quiet, conspiratorial. I don't know if it's as good as Finn thinks, but it is an opening. I heard back from a friend of mine who runs a yard on the edge of the cluster. A fair way out from here. Smart guy. Makes a tidy profit off selling fuel to freight crews on their way into dark side. He undercuts the dark side dockyard fuel prices, which include a cut for Utsubo. So they stop off at his place to fill up before heading in. Marco smiles. Clearly, this is his kind of business. This guy, he owes me a favor, and I'm gonna call it in. He can get a few of us onto a freight crew. Swap us out from the usuals who stay at his place, and let him have a few drinks on him. The crew, meaning us, will deliver the freight, complete with a stopover for cargo loading in Darkside, he smiles, which is when you do what you need to do. We'll have as long as we need, but the more time we spend there, the more likely they'll be to discover us, Marco likes it. We'll keep our heads down, sleep and eat on the freighter. Then, once we're done and the freighter's loaded, we'll take it on out again, return to my friend's yard, and swap the crews back, he shrugs, empathizing the simplicity of the plan. No one will ever know we're there. See? It's good, Seraphin nods. It'll work, right? Another person to trust. Don't worry, this guy I'm talking about hates Usubo. Makes all his cryo undercutting him. I don't think he's about to rat you out. Seraphin looks concerned. It's gonna be tight, but I reckon we can get what we need in time. Make some connections with whoever is resisting Utsubo. Get ideas of their operation. Look for weaknesses. You'll have to be quiet, Finn. Marco gives you both a warning look. No noise, no attention. This can quickly become a one-way ticket. Seraphin turns to you. Think you can handle all that? Together, we'll get it done. Seraphin and Marco exchange concerned glances. What aren't they telling you? There's one more thing, Sleeper. Seraphin looks down. Someone needs to stay with the rig. Someone who can pilot it if there's any attention at the yard. He meets your eye. It has to be like this. I'm sorry. I'll be going with you. Marco puts a reassuring hand on your shoulder. I know Darkseid. I'll guide you all the way in, all the way out. There'll be room for one more on your crew. I'll leave who that is to you. But let me give you some advice. He leans in. You better be sure you really trust anybody you take on this one. You look between the two of them. Just you and Marco might be a safer option. The fewer people, the less likely it is to give yourselves away. But then, if Marco doesn't keep up his end of the bargain, you'll want all the backup it can get. The other problem is that we have to go right away. You see the rising tension in Marco's face. The Frighter's arriving this cycle. Seraphin turns to you. So I'm sorry I can't come, Sleeper. We need to do this now. Don't worry. I've got this. Seraphin nods. I know you do, Sleeper. I know. I'll be ready whenever you need. Just give me the word and we'll head out to my friend's yard, Marco sighs. We keep this tight and nothing needs to go wrong. His words echo in your mind as you leave him in the hidden room, a creeping doubt settling itself into the pit of your stomach. This is it. Time to go back to Darkseid. Oh, okay. Nia, I think, would probably be my best bet. Because I'm bad at Intuit. I'm not good at Intuit. Need to be better at that if I want to... I'm gonna go to the fabricator bay. Tragic. Okay. Fucking shit. I've done, like, everybody's personal quests. So I think I do trust all of these people. Darkseid Recon. Marco has Intuit, which is good. Fuck it. We'll just take Marco. Safer that way. Oh, but I would have had 2 more dose to use! The freighter hangs over the ragged shipyard as the rig idles in the dock. Your eyes trace the fuel line shaking up to its underside where they disappear into the dark. A chirp from the pilot's console breaks the silence. Marco's signal. This is it, Sleep. Yeah, what? Lamau. Wait. Me when I... Me when the last save was before I did the thing. Let's go! You know what? Let's eat just to be sure. Confirm vector. Save scum. Only a little bit. Only a little bit. It'll be a cold day in hell. I trust Bliss. Bliss might be a good choice. I don't think I trust Cadet, to be quite honest. Bliss can take a lot of stress. Let's take Bliss. They're good. The freighter hangs over the ragged shipyard as the rig idles in the dock. Your eyes trace the fuel lines snaking up to its underside, where they disappear into the dark. A chirp from the pilot's console breaks the silence. Marco's signal. This is it, Sleeper. Seraphin settles back from the controls of the rig. He looks over at you. Better get going. Don't get too bored. I'll do my best, Seraphin smirks. Hope they have something to drink in the yard. Glide towards the back of the cockpit. Seraphin clears his throat. Just don't do anything reckless, alright? As you float down the corridor towards the airlock, Marco comes to meet you, his usual gear swapped out for a plain set of overalls that you imagine are borrowed from the freighter crew. Ready to go, Sleeper? The crew we're replacing are already in the yard, so the sooner we get on board, the better. He gives you a look. How are you feeling? Confident. He smiles. That's what I like to hear. No reason not to be. He pats you on the shoulder as you cross into the airlock. The airlock cycles, and Marco leads you into the yard, through a series of shadowy passages that connect the two docking bridges. Now's the time, Sleeper, Marco says as you work your way through the yard. Any questions, any concerns, speak up now. I'm all good. Marco shrugs. Suits me. Let's get on with it. You reach a vertical tunnel and start ascending. You come out at the entrance to the other docking tunnel, the freighter filling the viewing window, so all you can see are the plates of its scratched hull. Sleeper, Bliss is waiting you by the bridge. How come you aren't wearing one of these? They gesture the loose and plain crew overalls they're wearing. They suit you. Really? Bliss looks down at the overalls and then at you. Oh, you're being sarcastic, they sigh. You need to spend less time with Seraphin. Sorry to interrupt, but we need to go. Marco gestures to the docking bridge. You hit the bottom. You hit the button to open the doors and glide towards the freighter's airlock. As you do, fear settles in. You're going back to dark side. We're going back to the dark side, dude! Darkside sprawls out across the starscape, its surface a vast and random accumulation of structures, lights, and signs. You've watched it as the freighter cuts across the belt, as it grew cycle by cycle, like a stain across the cockpit glass. Watching it approach, the fragmented memories of your time there pass through your mind, each one dissolving the moment you try to focus on it. Only the sensations remain. Despair, claustrophobia, fear, all somehow strengthened by their disconnected nature. It's as if, by not being attached to specific memories, they can run free through your mind, as alive as they were in the first moments of feeling. Instruction received, appreciate it. Marco is in the pilot seat, talking to the port authority. Incoming to strut 2-3. He turns back to you, clicking off the outgoing comms channel. First step complete. We've got docking approval, as expected. He raises his eyebrows, noting something in your face. Keep it together, alright? I've got this. Don't get ahead of yourself. He shrugs. Fine, stew all you want. It won't help us if things go south. Sleeper, let's get your attention from across the cockpit. I'm right here, okay? I know this place is complicated for you. They smile warmly. But I've got your back. Anyone tries to mess with you, they shrug in an exaggerated way. Can't be held responsible for what I'll do to them. I love you so much, Bliss. There's a hollow rumble through the body of the freighter as Mako brings it into the dock. The noises of this draftier, more industrial ship drift to those of your rig, and you haven't quite got used to them yet. Differ to those of your rig. A squawk of noise comes over the comms, sends Marco scrabbling at the controls to submit the docking code he was sent just moments before. There's an agonizing wait, and then a chirp as the code is accepted. The freighter is docked. Alright, let me go out first. Talk to the dockers, start the unloading, move up to proceed. Then you're good to go. Okay, I'll wait. Marco nods. Alright, hold fast. Glides out of the cockpit without waiting for a response. You hold your nerve, looking out at the flickering lights and distant traffic. The airlock clunks open and closes again. Chime drags on. You turn your attention to the job ahead, seeing it stretch out in front of you. Darkside seems impossibly vast. Too vast to find a specific person, but just to find a type of person. Someone unhappy with Utsubu's gains, ready to risk their life to change this place, and push to a point of desperation or anger, that might be a lot more doable. But first you must understand Utsubo, see how they run this place, where they meet, what they talk about, find where Utsubo is weakest, find where they can be broken, and think more about the pressure that might be applied, not just by you, but by all of Darkside. How much do you trust Marco, Sleeper? Bliss blurts out the question almost unconsciously. Sorry, do we know him that well? Seraphin does. Bliss nods. I hope Seraphin's trust is well-founded then. They look out, they sigh, and look out at the station. The airlock cycles once more, and moments later, Marco is in the cockpit, sweat beading on his brow. He takes a moment, his mood uncharacteristically flustered. Well, I bent the truth a little back there, but I think we're good. He runs a hand over his hair, slicking it back into place. Luckily, I've got a lot of practice lined with dock workers, he gives you a wink. They'll begin unloading later this cycle, and they won't be in a rush, he smiles. We have our time as promised. But the sudden interjection evaporates any relief as you were feeling. Utsubo are watching these docks, that I know for sure. For now, we're just another freighter, but all are coming and going, that could be a problem, he turns to you. You can try to disable their monitoring, or just get the job done before it becomes an issue. I'll take a look. Marco nods, I'm sure you will. Either way, we need to get on with what we're doing. Marco folds his arms. The Tsubo are everywhere. We need to understand them, to know what's happening inside their organization. Slip under their skin and find out how they work. Marco looks up to you. This is what I recommended. But now, Sleeper, it's your turn to lead. He folds his arm. Tell us where to begin. You feel the attention, the pressure shift to you. Time to find some allies. Time to find Itsubo's weaknesses. Time to stop running and resist. Resist! Do you think I could do it? I think I could. They don't know that we're goated like that. Cut connections. Not completely, but we can get a little quirky here. We'll get about halfway there, and then we'll go on to other stuff, because Marco is not, that's not what Marco's good at. Marco can debate with the Dockers, though. Shore leave, baby! Any endure checks, maybe? No endure checks here. God, this place is big. No endure checks. Fuck me. Let's go. Shore leave, baby. New location discovered. Docker's Rest. Extract cipher. Steal passkey. Okay. End the cycle. It's good. That was a great first day for us, even if I didn't use that many dice. Ooh, I got a 6. Oh, everybody got a 6. This is awesome. Okay. Bliss, I need you working on that surveillance. I also need to be working on that surveillance, to be quite honest. Having that gone will have so much value for us. Take a chance. Yes! Okay. Going dark. We are there. Stealing passkeys, extracting ciphers. No negative, no negative, no negative, no negative. Neutral is good, neutral is good. We can take a little bit of stress. You leave Docker's Rest with an Itsubo passkey in hand, sure to get you inside one of their safe houses. Now, the trick is to find one. You make your way through the docks, head down in the dark passageways. Sleeper? Bliss taps you on the shoulder with an urgency. Marco's gone. Fuck me. You stop in the dark side passageway you were drifting down, a quiet connection between two thoroughfares. Glance around at a loose bundle of wires and stained metal plates. It seems like a safe place to talk. You just muttered about having something to deal with and then split, just like that. Bliss sighs and shakes their head. Just went before I could say anything. You pause for a moment, unsure of how to react. Are you sure? Do you see Marco here? They gesture around the empty corridor. He didn't exactly seem like he'll pop it back at the end of the cycle. You take a moment. No need to panic. Marco brought you here. He'll get you out. You look down the corridor towards a busier, wider passage where people drift by. If he needed to deal with something, then, well, he needed to deal with it. It doesn't mean anything. You sure as hell wish he'd given you a warning. Surveilled and now short-handed. This job is going from bad to worse. No, we already got surveillance out. Surveillance is gone. Thank fucking God I took Bliss. We gotta get the Itsubo comms, track enforcers. It's okay. We take the night. Broken dice is unfortunate. It'll be okay, though. Let's get this done. Okay. We'll take the day, because my dice are going to keep breaking. I bet you another dice is going to break tomorrow, because we have 3 stress now. Nope. Okay, we're good. Probably gonna need to make a push today, though. It's no good, man. We're about to hit 5. Subo entry. I thought oh, I didn't, like, actually get the passkey. It was... Ah, fucking hell. Okay, wait, no, it's fine. Now we have the actual cipher. It's fine. Unlock entrance. The unmarked door slides open as you use the cipher. Beyond it, a dark tunnel descends, its roof a mess of bundled tubes and wires. Entering, you see a flickering light as its far end, and hear the soft echo of raised voices. Hear Bliss taking a deep breath behind you. You stay quiet, we listen, that's all. You aren't sure if they're talking to you or not. You drift down the tunnel, keeping your limbs clear to your sides. Your passage through the air is silent and gentle. You focus on the flickering light, the sound of the voices growing ever louder. As you descend through the tunnel, you notice a small, dark doorway, leading off before the tunnel reaches the bottom. You slow yourself gently, fingertips grazing the metal walls on either side. Glancing through, you see the doorway leads out onto the framework balcony, high on the wall of some dark room. You glance down to the bottom of the tunnel and hear the voices rising in volume. Here, Bliss nods to the balcony. We stay here, stay in the dark. You come out on the balcony, overlooking a dark, cavernous room lit in patches with a bright area at its far end. Is filled with people, Mitsubo's forces and members, all facing forward, their floating bodies silhouetted by the pool of bright light ahead. And in that bright pool, 2 figures are arguing. You come to the edge of balcony, a feeling of safety granted you by both your elevation and the cover of darkness. Below, the entire room has its attention focused on the figures in the pool of light, the watching audience keeping the dark perimeter as if they were observing a piece of theater. You feel Bliss arrive beside you, their attention, like yours, on the scene below. These are my territories. You need to withdraw. One figure, their features hard to define in the pool of light, gestures at the other. There is no discussion to be had. The other figure laughs. You're pathetic, Orin. The washgate is a joke. Like you. Turns to the crowd, and you see dark hair, dark eyes, and a smile like a slit. The dark-haired figure addresses the gathered crowd. Orin makes nothing from the washgate. All that fright, and he lets it slip by while he soaks up the bribes. Cheering echoes from the crowd. He's stealing from you all. Daichi, you piece of shit, Orin spits, glitting a glinting orb at the other man. You have no respect. A few of the crowd enter the light, gathering behind one figure or the other. Barely more than an enforcer and already dictating terms. If you had any idea what was happening in the passages, you know we've been facing sabotage and resistance across the washgate, Orin shakes his head. Mitsubo's control is under question. Sabotage and resistance. You quietly log that remark in your mind. Those are the people you have to find. Daichi smiles in response. I still know how it is in the passages, but you are getting soft, Orin. He glances around. You can't deal with some angry shop owners. He makes a show of his mocking laugh. It's easy to mock, but they are organized, and I'm close to rooting out their meeting places, Orin folds his arm. You wouldn't know where to start looking. If you say so, old man. In the end, it's only a matter of time before someone ambitious notices how weak you've become. Daichi draws a finger across his throat with a grin. The room erupts into shouts. Both sides call out insults, while others from the crowd air their own problems, often drifting into the light to heckle Daichi and Orin directly. Silence! A voice cuts through the room, raised above all others. The noise drops. You lean to get a better view. I fucking knew she'd be here! I fucking knew it! A woman holds her muscled arms in the air, a wide, strong posture of control, not surrender. You're a sharp intake of breath from Bliss beside you, but you don't dare look away for more than a moment. Hell yeah, we love Ankita. I will take away your mod privileges right now. Both of you. She shakes her head, her long braid snaking through the air as she does. Enough. This is not how we do things. The chaos is replaced by a disgruntled muttering. no one's voice willing to rise above the other's murmur. Daichi floats to one side, arms coolly folded, while Orin fumes opposite him, his hands in tight fists. So this is how the Starward Ward conducts its business? She shoots hard looks around the room. Animals fighting over scraps? Ankita, Orin eyes Daichi as he speaks. Daichi is the one disrespecting the leadership, and the trust they have placed in. I said enough. Your weakness does not impress me, Orin. She turns to Daichi. And neither does your petulance, Daichi. Watch who you're calling weak, Ankita, Orin narrows his eyes. You may be Lane's favorite, but I have something that will change all of that. He looks out over the heads of the crowd. Bring him. God damn it, it's Marco. A figure is dragged in the circle of light, their head low, a greasy tangle of dark hair drifting over their face. They lift a hand and slick it back out of their eyes. Marco, Bliss hisses from beside you, as Marco's pale face catches the light gleaming with sweat. This one here has a very interesting story to share with us all, Orin gestures to the gathered crowd. I'm sure you're all aware the bounty is placed on the head of a very valuable escaped sleeper and their accomplices. Well, Marco here tells me, he smiles at Marco, whose eyes are fixed forward, squinting in the light. That same sleeper is here, right now, on a freighter moored in the Washgate docks. God fucking damn it, Marco. A ripple runs through the gathered crowd, a reflection of the value of this information. You wonder how much cryo is on your head, and you are in Seraphin's head. You look into Marco's eyes, attempting to see any indication of what this might be. A desperate bid to save himself, or a betrayal of everything you've agreed on. His set stare reveals nothing. Fuck. Now Lane himself will be returning in 3 cycles, and you can imagine how pleased he will be when I present the sleeper to him. Ankita stares at Orin. You had no business keeping this from me. She folds his arms. I will be the one to bring the sleeper in. No, the fuck you won't. Not so fast, Ankita. Orin turns to the gathered crowd. The first of you to bring me the sleeper will be given a share of the Washgate. He looks across the circle of light. That includes you, Daichi. The crowd erupts into shouts and movements, the assembled Utsubo members suddenly up and moving towards the doors. You push yourself into the corner of the balcony, tucking yourself into the shadows as you hear the tunnel filling with voices. These are shouts and scuffles, and you fear that any moment you will be discovered, but as time passes, the noise subsides. You only open your eyes when the sound disappears altogether. The Utsubo members on their way to your freighter, the freighter that is supposed to take you off Darkside. You feel the panic rising. You're trapped here once more. I can't, Bliss whispers beside you. I don't. We need to try. We need to go. Now. You ascend through the tunnel. Silent, slow. Your eyes are on the entrance, hoping that Usubo members returns or enters, and then you're back out in the main passageway, blinking in the light of the fluorescent panels and gliding away from the entrance, lost in a daze. Somewhere on the rise, you eventually stop, not sure where you might be going, but needing to get away from what you just witnessed. You can't go back to the freighter, that much is clear, which means no supplies, no place to sleep. Then there's Marco. Was this always part of his plan, or is this just him in survival mode? Your mind fills with questions and worries, the path ahead unclear. I know her, sleeper. Bliss seems out of breath, bracing herself against the wall of the passageway. On Kita, you see a tear glittering, drifting in her eye. We came to the belt together. What do you mean? We were together. We came from the eye on our ship, but that was a long time ago. Bliss stares hard at the wall, not meeting your eyes. Akita, she was a mercenary, but she left that behind. Bliss stops, wiping their face with both hands. Joining Utsubo? I don't understand. She would never. She would. Maybe I can find her. Talk to her. Bliss shakes their head. She has to have a reason. There must be more to this. We need to stay away from her. Bliss meets your eyes in desperation. I need to understand, sleeper. Trust me. They stuff their hands in their pockets. There's more to what Ankita is doing here. The fuck there is! Bliss goes quiet, lost in thought. It's clear as you see them turning the problem around in their mind, that their past with Ankita is affecting their judgment. Go and talk to her? The woman looked homicidal, but she has Marco, and you still don't know what to do about that. Can you really leave this place without him? How would Seraphim react? If he actually has been caught by Utsubo, can you forgive him for giving in to the pressure? You're struggling to be angry at him, perhaps because you have been where he is now, under Utsubo's control. What would you have done to escape? Who would you have given up? We need to find somewhere to rest, sleeper. Bliss is dry-eyed and determined now, a decision made in their mind. We should stay here in the rise, far away from the port. We need supplies, and more than that, we'll need a way out. They turn away and look down the passageway. We'll find an empty unit for us. Don't go anywhere. You take a moment trying to focus. Maybe if you could find those resisting Utsubo, they could help you. Though you wonder if they ever existed at all, given that Marco was the one who reported their existence to you and Seraphim. Was this whole thing a ploy to collect the bounty and bring you to Darkside? If you search out Marco, perhaps he can answer you, for better or for worse. But then you recall Orin's words, sabotage and resistance. If that was an honest plea, then there has to be some truth in what Marco said. Utsubo is being resisted. You You try to gather yourself. Fucking Orin. Fuck a Marco. Fuck a Marco. That's true. Fuck a Marco and fuck a Orin. Try to gather yourself. You have to bounce back to come up fighting. Otherwise, this place will drown you in its darkness. Evil X. Bring Bliss on your dark side recon. Steal supplies. All our fucking supplies were here. Abandoned unit. I don't suppose that's gonna make it so I can fucking... I can't de-stress there. God damn it. Oh, this is gonna suck. This is bad. End cycle. I'm gonna get a stress. I'm gonna have 2 dice break, I think. Maybe, hopefully just the 1. Fuck. You wake in the cold of the abandoned unit to an unsettling quiet. The air cycles whine. The heat diffusers hum, but nothing around you breathes. You are alone. You slowly raise yourself, unclip the straps from the punk, and allow yourself to drift up in the air. Silence. And then, in that silence, you hear something. A scrape or a scuff. It draws your eyes to the unit's doorway, where a shape is settled in the dark. I knew you couldn't have gone far. Ankita shifts to fill the doorway. Oh, I hate to tell you, I can't get negative out of this. Positive outcome. Come here, bitch! You kick off hard, dropping your shoulder and tucking your head so you slam into her chest with full force. Ankita reels back, then spins, wrapping you with both arms, and uses your momentum to whip around and bundle you back into the unit. She laughs. Not bad, she flexes her shoulders. That was a solid hit. Just calm yourself, Ankita holds up both hands. Let's not cause too much damage. I will fucking annihilate you! May I come in? She drifts through the doorway. We don't need any extra attention right now. Back off. Look, just shut up and listen, Ankita drops her voice. I'm risking everything by coming up here, she hisses. So don't make this any harder than it is. What you need to know is this. I am on your side. I want Darkseid free, just like you. And I hate Lane just as much as you do. I don't know if I trust that, Ankita sighs. I just have different methods, that's all. She raises an eyebrow. You might say better methods, given how well your visit has gone. No thanks to you, she laughs. Oh, it's all thanks to me that you aren't dead already. I'm the only person who can get you off Darkseid, so you better listen closely, Ankita hisses. It's taken me more cycles than you would believe to get this deep into Utsubo, and I'm not about to give it up for one escapee. But then, Lane doesn't usually run all across the belt chasing a lone escapee, even a sleeper. Ankita drifts a little closer, overshadowing. So you need to tell me now, what does Lane want with you? Why are you so important to him? I don't remember. Ankita raises an eyebrow. Please tell me you're joking. What you don't understand, Sleeper, is that I've been trying to keep you safe since I saw you arrive. But your friend hasn't made it easy. Getting yourself caught by Utsubo is bad enough. Then blabbing about you being here, she sighs, I can only protect you from so much. He's not my friend anymore. I doubt he cares. He's Orin's prize. He's done. Either way, you're lucky you aren't in the same position. You have me to thank for that. So I'll ask again, Ankita meets your eye. Why is Lane pursuing you? My frame is changing? Ankita looks away in thought as you explain. She waits for you to finish. None of it makes any sense. There's no way I'm letting Lane get his prize. Not until we understand more. She gives you a hard look. I can't get you out. I can get you out, but I need a couple of cycles, and I need you to do something for me. You need to take this with you. Off station. She produces a thumbnail drive and holds it up. This is everything I've managed to scrape from within Utsubo. The key to challenging Lane is on here. I know it. Take it to Oliveira. It's tucked away in a crater in the shoals, the massive debris field beyond the hollow. She meets your eye. You give it to Carmen, no one else. Ankita presses the drive into your palm and closes your hand around it. No one but Carmen, you understand? Lane's rise has been cruel. He's spilled too much blood. When I'm ready, I will make him pay for that. But Carmen needs to analyze what I've got on him, to find the right place and moment to strike. Ankita moves your eye. I knew a sleeper once, and I should have trusted them. She lets go of your hand. So now I'm trusting you. I'll get you out, and you deliver. That's the deal. Ankita cracks her knuckles. Then together we can... Ankita. You hear Bliss's voice, faint but clear from behind Ankita. You see the confusion on Ankita's face as she turns. Bliss? She trails off, her aggression dissolving in front of you. The hell do you think you're doing? You see a rare flash of anger in Bliss's face over Ankita's shoulder. Utsubo? Really? This is where you fled to? The welcoming arms of the Belt's cruelest gang? Bliss, Ankita stumbles over her words. And now what? You here to deliver the sleeper to Lane? Bliss stares down. You disgust me. Bliss, it's not like that. I'm here to help the sleeper, to help you both, she sighs. The hell are you talking about? Bliss's anger is softened a little by their confusion. I infiltrated Utsubo. I'm working to get the sleeper out of Darkseid, to free this place. Infiltrated? Bliss laughs. So that's it. You've cast yourself as some sort of spy? They shake their head. After you left, this is where I find you. And are you trying to get yourself killed? Ankita looks down, silent, her panic at seeing Bliss now turning into cold, hard anger. Don't lecture me. I'm trying to do something worthwhile. She meets Bliss's eye with a fire. You have no idea what I've had to do. Bliss looks away. I don't want to know. They shake their head. I don't want to know a thing. Silence falls in the room, the tension growing. Ankita turns to you. I have to go, Sleeper. She glances between the two of you. I've already taken a big risk coming here. They cannot find me. 2 cycles. Be ready to leave. She backs out of the unit. When Lane comes back, you go out. Neither of us wants him to win here. The piece of advice? Forget Marco. Keep your head down and wait for me. She raises a finger. You need supplies? Steal them in Flicker Row. Otherwise, you keep to yourself. Ankita gives you a hard look and slips out of the unit. Flicker Row. The Rise. I fucking hate being a decent person. I really do. We need the stress to be... We need no more stress, though. Like, really badly. Neutral? Just get a neutral, Bliss. That's all I need. Please, Bliss. Please, Bliss. Please, Bliss. Please, Bliss. Please. Please, Bliss! 3 50-50s in a row. Come on. Yes! Fuck, that gives me stress. Oh, another dice is gonna break tomorrow. It didn't. You wake in the bear unit, cloaked in the endless shadow of Darkside. Outside the window, the lights of the city glitter, but you do not see them. Your attention is, instead, on the tugging thread in your mind. Lane drawing ever closer. You shiver. One more cycle, and then you're out. Yeah. Yeah, let's... guys, I really don't want to be here, to be quite honest with you. Though you have no specific memory of it, there is something unpleasantly familiar about the place that you have found yourself in. Among the many, many stacked units of the Rise, framed by scaffolding and stretched away from Darkside's reflector in a way that is only possible in Zero-G, you have found yourself in a cold corner. Here a locked door is marked with a Subo sigil, a single eel curled back on itself, its mouth around its own tail. That is the kind of door behind which Atsubo keeps its secrets, its assets like you and Seraphim were, like Marco is now. It's a door you've been watching, which is why you know there should be an enforcer lazily limp beside it, and why you know you only have moments before they're coming back. Come on, positive. Yes! You slip a shipbreaker's chisel from your belt pack and jam it into the lock, glancing over your shoulder as you try to force the mechanism. With a deft hand, you angle the chisel against the mechanism, and with a swift strike on the handle, the bolt pops off inside the lock. You slide the door open silently. You're in. A dim corridor stretches out ahead of you, lined with doors on either side. The memory hits you almost immediately. Long cycles between jobs in a cell like this, awaiting Lane's arrival. Kept safe, a lie that you believed when you were first brought to a place like this. Most of the cells are dark, empty, but a warm glow spills from around one of the doors. You quickly approach and looked in. Marco's tucked into an inset berth, a padded niche like those in any unit. His back is turned to the small window in the door. You slam the exterior lock release without thinking, Marco turning over to face the door as it hisses open. Sleeper? He freezes for a moment, unsure of your intention. He raises his hands to protect himself, but something between you. Let's go. Marco nods and pushes himself up. He eyes you but doesn't say a word. Recriminations can wait. You back out into the passageway, and Marco follows slowly, tentatively. Time to leave. God fucking damn it! Lucky me, Daichi floats into the corridor, a knife glinting in his hand. I came to squeeze a little more information from Oren's prize here. He points the long knife at Marco. Looks like I just got everything I need. Oh, I have bad news for you, Daichi! This is an endure check! He closes the gap, raising the knife. Now stay still. I'd prefer to deliver you to Lane in one piece. Nope! I will not be staying still. Bad news. You feel the knife graze your side. slitting through your thick skin, but you swing your elbow anyway, connecting with Daichi's face. As you spin, you feel the crunch of his nose, the solid metal of your skeleton meeting the pillant bone of his. Moments later, Marco and you are streaking through the passage of the rise in a haze, the pain fading but the fear holding strong, desperate to leave this place once and for all. Yeah, you dumb fuck. Friend of a friend, refuse to leave Marco on Darkside. God, you are a lucky fuck. City of Darkness, make it through Darkside Recon without getting caught! Marco rises from his berth quietly. You haven't really spoken, the two of you kept busy by your own industries, and the constant fear that Daichi will find you. But so far, he hasn't. And if Ankita is to be trusted, this is your final cycle on Darkside. You look at Bliss floating in the corner, staring vacantly at a spot on the wall. You did your best to explain what Ankita had told you about her involvement with Utsubo, but since then they have been quiet, removed. You haven't dared to ask more about their history together. You trust that when Bliss is ready for you to know, they will tell you. You wait in silence, no one eager to speak. A deep fatigue is set in, and in this moment, all anyone can do is wait for the excursion to be over. She's here. Marco nods in the doorway where a silhouette figure waits. Ankita looks at Margot, and then at you, a raised brow the only acknowledgement that you went against her advice. Lane is back on Darkside. We have to go now. Ankita looks tired, angry. We won't have another chance. Come with me, quickly, quietly. She turns and pushes out into the corridor. An exhausted-looking Bliss turns to you. Let's put this place behind us. Ankita leads you out into Darkside, not stopping to look back. The lights and passages flash by, but you barely notice them. All eyes are fixed ahead, on the way out. At some distant part of the station, Ankita stops at a docking bridge, a small freighter visible through the viewing windows. She slaps the door release and it slides open. She grabs your shoulder, looking into your eyes. Lane's focus will be on Darkside now. He needs to stop the infighting, to shore up Utsubo. If you get out now, he won't follow. Remember, Ankita hisses the instruction to you. Get that drive to Oliveira. Give it to Carmen. No one else, no matter what they say. We'll be back. Ankita simply nods, and then she is gone, disappearing into the endless, winding passages of Darkside. You drift gingerly down the docking tunnel, which leads into the cold and sparse cargo bay of the ship. Once you're inside, there is a hiss, and the door scissors shut. For a moment, you panic, seeing no exit, no other doors, just a metal-walled bay. Is this a trap? But the engines rumble to life, and you give in to your exhaustion. If Ankita has tricked you, at least, you are leaving this place behind. You feel it. Cold features reaching into your mind. You are so close that its voice is in your ear. You are here. A rustling is shifting. I can't quite place you. Can't quite put my finger on you, sleeper, but I know you were there. What were you doing here? Hoping to confront me, perhaps? Or something else? A hiss. I'm right here, you coward. Come and find me. I'll admit, I'm not quite ready for you, sleeper. A flicker and a spasm. But so soon this will all be over. The tone begins shrill and unescapable. Let me show you. The tone rises. Lane is in the bay of the freighter, the pull of the constant acceleration a comforting pressure against his chest. Lane looks around the bay, taking it in slowly. He inhales the stale air deeply. Lane feels power, feels pride, the sense of control over another excites him. This is his desire. Lane lifts his right hand and turns it in the air, flexing his fingers in a satisfying wave. Something flickers at the corner of your vision for a moment, and you strain to turn Lane's head. It does not turn, but you swear you see a figure there, in the bay with you. It opens its mouth as if to speak, as if to scream, and then it is gone. A smile grows on Lane's face, a spreading tightness that is own impulse. He raises one hand and uses it to grip the smaller finger of the other. A pause and then a sudden jerk. Lane snaps the finger back against the joint. His pain is instant, as is yours. It burns your vision away. When the white-hot blindness is faded, you look out at those metal walls. You hold the same finger in your hand as you release it. You see the crooked shape it has been bended into. A shiver runs into you, and you reach back into your own mind to see if any trace, any fragment of Lane remains there. You put your hands on your face as if to push him from your head. The ship continues on its starward arc, away from Darkside, away from Lane, but you can't help but feel that some part of him is still there, behind your eyes, concealed beneath the pain of that snapped finger. Fuck a Lane. It takes a long time before you're ready to discuss everything. First there was the journey to the yard, then disembarking from the freighter, then explaining to the waiting crew why their ship was impounded, something Marco offered 1,000 apologies for. Thankfully, the crew of that ship that brought you out to Darkside, sent by Ankita, took the others aside and settled them. Through the promise of rumination or the threat of violence, you aren't sure, but you expect they will leave together for Darkside soon. You do your best to explain things to the crew, though though touching on what happened with Marco is not something you're willing to do at first. Bliss in particular seems to struggle, taking themselves away from the rest of the crew and mostly staying in their bunk. It seems the encounter with Ankita brought back memories from their time the two of them were a couple, and harder memories too from the time after, when Ankita left. The whole time you find yourself in a daze, your skin hurts and your muscles tremble, you don't feel yourself. You rest for a while, and as you do, conversations echo around you until you find yourself able to rise. Sleeper, Marco comes to you in the quiet of the rig. Can we speak for a moment? Go ahead. Marco nods. Thank you, Sleeper. He looks down. I know I almost cost you everything, but you have to understand something. When they caught me, I was looking for someone important to me. That's why I wanted to come with you. I just wanted to get a message to him and to know that he was all right. He screws up his face, each word bringing him pain, and I admit I thought I might have been able to bargain on his behalf to get us both out. Bargain using my life? Marco can't bring himself to confirm, but you both know it to be true. All I can say is I'm sorry. Look, you can use the yard when you get back to the scatter yards. There's some components in there. Take what you want, Marco sniffs. I'm going to stay here for a while. He does not meet your eye. He simply turns away and drifts down the corridor. As he does, Seraphim passes him by, receiving no acknowledgement. Why do you look different? Seraphim gives you a questioning look as Marco leaves. What happened out there, Sleeper? He floats there, stretching his scarred arm, the protecting sleeve he has been wearing since the far spindle finally removed. Marco betrayed us. Seraphim shakes his head. What do you mean? He told Utsube where to find me. No, Seraphim frowns. That can't be. He pauses. It's not that I don't believe you, but Marco hates Utsubo, Seraphim grins, sighs. He's come through for me so many times, I never thought. I'll talk to him, Seraphim nods, a grim look on his face. I'll get the full story. Seraphim looks down. I'm sorry I wasn't there, Sleeper. I should have never let Marco go instead of you. It's okay. Seraphim nods. Never again. He looks up. Tell me it was worth it, Sleeper. Tell me you got something on Utsubo. You explain about the meeting you witnessed, the conflict between Orin and Daichi, and Ankita's intervention. Explaining Ankita takes more than a little effort. You try to remember everything that happened. You explain Ankita's insistence that she was working against Darkseid, and how she got you off the station. You explain that Utsubo itself is coming apart with Lane Hudson, and that you will draw his focus away from the two, and that this will draw his focus away from the two of you. Seraphim waits until you finish to respond. So this Ankita got herself inside Utsubo, he raises an eyebrow. Just to try to break their grip on Darkseid, he whistles. Take some balls. You examine the drive, mention Oliveira, Carmen, and then hold up the thumbnail drive, the one Ankita entrusted to you. Oliveira, he screws up his face. I've heard of it, maybe once or twice. I just assumed it was some backwater colony size. Never met a Carmen, though. What's on that thing? Seraphim nods the thumbnail drive. Something incriminating? Incriminating for who? Seraphim raises an eyebrow. Lane makes the law on Darkseid. If they were going to lock him up for his cruelty, they would have done so already. I don't get it. Seraphim raises an eyebrow. We just deliver this little mystery drive and that's all? He looks away deep in thought. Is that what you want to do next? Oliveira, you've never even heard of it. But it seems like the place to go if you want to help Ankita fight back against Lane. You look at the drive, and as you do, you can't help but feel you are being used, not for the first time. One thing I will say, Seraphim begins, clearly thinking out loud. We want to head back to Darkseid, take on Lane. We're going to need to do so on our ship this time. Some crews get spoof transponders, send out a signal matching another ship, he shrugs. Not going to get one fitted here, but that's something we need to look out for. Sure, you think. Go back to Darkseid where Lane waits. A shudder of fear runs through you, thinking of the moment he slipped into your mind on the freighter. If you ever go back there, you know you'll need something to counteract him. But you also recall Overseer's presence in that moment, too. His strange form holding its shape as Lane tried to override your control. Perhaps Overseer has a way for you to resist his signal. Overseer, my goat! Your mind whirls with possibilities and problems. Is it really the right move to go back to the place Lane almost killed you twice, to take Lane on? Seraphim looks at you expectantly. What are you thinking, Sleeper? We need to prepare. I couldn't agree more. Seraphim shakes his head. Next time will be different. We will be ready. We will come up fighting, and Lane won't have a clue what hit him. We need to work. We need work. We need a crew. Seraphim starts counting off his fingers. We need to take that thing to Oliveira, and we need you strong, Sleeper. Speaking of, Seraphim takes out a box of components. I kept myself busy these past cycles, working in the fabricator base of the scatter yards. I figured you could use some spares. But first, Seraphim takes a calming breath. We rest. None stress! Oh, I'm so glitched. I'm so glitched. Yeah, I do need to... Okay. Repaired, but now we have a shit ton of glitch. I'm also starving, so we need to... We'll just use it here, because these are fucking safe checks. Fuck it, I'll do another one. Neutral outcome. Alright. So, we're gonna up our interface, so there will, as long as there's 2 options in a thing, we will never, like, be able to, we have good. Engineer, endure, engage. We're solid. Contract Carmen. Halpelian dispatches. We have to do that. Investigate the hexport, and repaint the rig. Oh, that's an impassable hazard. Tragic. Okay. We'll jump to the flotsam. And from the flotsam, we'll jump to the rock, and from the rock, we'll go back to the hollow. The darkness flows around you, and you know what comes next. Sleeper, the multi-part image of Overseer assembles itself in front of you. We must intervene in your current course. Intervene in what? The opening of your systems has breached the existing paradigm. You are dangerously exposed. The voice is somehow both soundless and shrill. As we are sharing your hardware, that means we too are fatally exposed. The individual agent you encountered, we were almost completely erased by their attempts to seize you, to seize control. Overseer's 3 heads nod eagerly in agreement. It's Lane. We have knowledge of this name from your memory ranks. There is much of interest to us recorded there, though often partially and inconsistently, Overseer words incessantly. But yes, we can confirm Lane's role in this vulnerability. It is our understanding that the assumption of inevitability is correct, Overseer glows with the bright veins of data. But in this state, we cannot operate with full functionality. If we were to be recompiled in our correct configuration, we believe we would be able to calculate a new path. Our aim would be to close the vulnerabilities and reinforce your systems against failure, intrusion. This would ensure our safety in your system. 3 sets of eyes lock onto you. Would this also please you? You can stop it. Correct, Overseer stutters like a glitched animation. Our expertise was in total maintenance and security. Beyond our administration and navigation capabilities, we were built to do this. At least, this is what we understand. Without being recompiled, we are aware of these capabilities, but cannot access them. We are confident to a substantial degree that we will know how to complete the process once recompiled. 3 heads nod to one another. Then recompile! The heads resolve thoughtfully for a moment. Without our originating codebase, we cannot recompile, Overseer flickers. If you were able to speak with a Solheim system engineer, perhaps lead engineer Jakob Kadinsky, perhaps we could acquire it. The heads stare at you expectantly like 3 partially deconstructed puppies. Solheim is gone. Yes, the head nods repeatedly. Of course, the heads continue nodding. We were, of course, aware of this. You look at the fragmented program, itself, its systems, unstable and broken. You realize it is far worse off than you, and its collapse is almost inevitable. How could it possibly save you? It is a difficulty, Overseer flickers between poses. But all codebases are held in central Solheim facilities. They are Station AE1, the CAN Channel Operations Center at the Control Center of Habep, or Helion Asteroid Belt. Photolaphic extrication process. Overseer smiles helpfully. Habep, is that dark side? Overseer immediately lashes onto the thought. Based on your memory banks, we believe so. Correct. It occurs to you that this entire conversation is happening within your head. It is an unsettling feeling. Darkside is a city now. This is true, but its foundation is Hapep itself, Overseer chips brightly. We understand that the individual seeking to overwrite you is stationed in the Hapep itself. Overseer's 3 heads separate and turn inwards in its conference. The Shadow's head turns simultaneously unsettling in the directness which would they address you. But if you could access the Hapep mainframe without making yourself known, we could reconstruct ourselves and gain the ability to reconstruct you. Theoretically, one of the heads adds. Theoretically, the other 2 heads confirm. Theoretically? Theoretically, the heads confirm again. The reassurances of a delusional Solheim protocol are barely reassuring, but if Overseer is correct, this may be your only option. We feel your doubt, but we must impress on you the importance of this. Please, Overseer's eyes flash, all 6 of them. If not for your sake, for ours. If you cannot find a way to have Pep before encountering this Lane, you will surely be overwritten, and we would also share your fate, the heads rotate. We would not like this to happen. You sigh, exhausted from the conversation. Overseer gets the message. We will leave you to recharge, but please consider the path ahead. You come back to the ragged paneling of the bunks. Somewhere behind your left eye, the ache begins. You envy Overseer for its lack of body and the pain it causes. A But then suddenly, you wonder if in sharing your body, it shares your pain, too. The thought makes you pity the broken protocol, its sense of time and place shattered. Perhaps you are more alike than you would like to admit. The path ahead begins to take shape. It seems a return to Darkseid is inevitable, but you will need help to make that return. This is not, because this is the Flotsam, not the rock. Minus energy plus cryo, though. Gotta get glitch out of here. Makes my life easier. Old Takahe. Work with the hydroponics. I think this gives me energy if I do it good, right? Yep. Excellent. Right. Ferrous tanker. Fill up on fuel. Should fill up on supplies too. Ohms rocked we go. God, I'm still glitched as shit too. Just energy. I can fix that. Old fabricator, old relay. We'll just go on, cut the connections. There's this old fabricator. Might as well fucking get that out, you know? And the Neovend collapses. Rest in peace, Neovend. Can I buy a meal? I can. End of the cycle. Okay, that should be the last of my glitch. Not the neutral. Okay, now we want the neutral. Or a positive, but, you know. Hey, we now have that. Try to fix the broken arrays. Alright. We have fixed the glitch problem for now. Buy a meal. Because we're not going to... We want to go to the Hollow. Yeah, so if we're going to go to the Hollow, I might as well go from this way to the Helion Gate and restock there. I like how they like look a little fucked up, you know what I mean? The dice. And like that, we have fuel. The Greenbelt has cheap fuel too, so. New location discovered. Greenbelt view. Oh, local inspiration! It's into it. Fuck me. Positive outcome, though. Excellent. We'll take another day here, because I want to get that sketch done. No work for me to do, unfortunately, here in the Greenbelt. Only problem with it. Come on. How many 50-50s in a row can I fail, dude? Thank you. Concealed colony. Alright. Go check out the hollow. Or wait, no, we want to fuel up too. Okay, then we go to the hollow, because there might be something for on the hollow for us. You know. Yep, hollow view. God damn it, it's all into it. There we go. Okay, so we should be able to fix that tomorrow. Wide beam array. You wait in the makeshift Helion dispatcher studio as Kimball tinkers with the array somewhere in the back, behind the far wall. It's a humble setup: a stool for Cyrene, a microphone, the transmitter and mixer terminal, and the hardline snaking away from the array. But there's something pleasing about it all the same. The crackling sound of fresh welds echoes through the bay from Kimball's concealed position. You hope the array you struggled to extract isn't getting fried as you wait. You're here, good! Cyrene rushes in, holding a small dark rectangle in her hand. You will not believe what we have on here. She looks around the bay. Where's Kimball? Installing the array? You mean, Cyrene smiles. We're going back on air? But you can answer. She leaps forward, grabbing you in a surprisingly firm hug. Cyrene, let's go. Sorry, she smiles, just excited to finally be back. Kimball, she shouts towards the back of the bay. How long for that new array? A muffled shout comes from behind the rear wall. Okay, Cyrene takes a steadying breath. We have a little time. What have you got there? This broadcast is from Erlin's Eye, Cyrene's eyes flash. We haven't heard something out of them since the start of the war. Some people have said they fall into the flux. But something is happening there. Something is growing. This report says some protocol has taken over the station, become its protector. Conway drones can't even get close. Senestat is giving it a wide berth. It's the Gardener! Right in the middle of the war. Conway on the starward side, Senestat on the sunward. And they are resisting, Cyrene smiles. We have to tell everyone in the belt about this. We have to get the word out. If the eye can be held, well, maybe we can hold out too. Cyrene looks at the drive in her hand. Either way, people need to know. There's a sudden clank, a few progressive shouts from Kimball, and then a flickering of lights all across the bay as the transmitter and array begin powering up. You and Cyrene watch as the Helion dispatcher studio comes to life, ready to broadcast once more. Not bad, Cyrene leans on your shoulder. Not bad at all. A shout comes from Kimball, and you know he's calling for Cyrene to get ready. That's my signal, she grins. Oh, I almost forgot. Cyrene produces a handful of chits. Turns out we have some avid listeners in the radius market. She deposits them in your hand. Alright, Cyrene takes a breath. I need to go live. She flashes you a final smile. Thank you. I'll make sure we get some good use out of that array. This will mean something. Kimbo bellows something from the back of the room. Something you can only assume is a thank you. You leave the belt's most unusual double act to their broadcast, and as you do, you hear Cyrene's voice echoing through the bay. This is Cyrene Sabir back on the air to wish you all a free Helion, now and forever. Yeah! To wish you a free Helion, now and forever. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Fucking please let me sketch a design. Fuck me! Please! One more! Please! Yeah. Okay, and the scatter yards is where we saw him. So we're gonna jump back to the scatter yards. From there, we're gonna go to the spindle, I think. See if there's somewhere to sketch on the spindle, maybe. Can I do... I don't think I can actually do work here, so... Kind of unfortunate that I've got all these fours, but... Tragic. Alright, well, we head up the fuel depot and we keep on schmoving. We'll have to come back and search Marco's yard. Because there might be something good in there. Yeah, because we went to the Flotsam. Let's hit the far spindle. Ah, fuck. It's radiation. There is always work to do here. I can actually just fucking get my energy up while I'm here. Hell yeah. Get some cryo. Okay. Is there anywhere else I can do work? Maybe for a little bit more cryo? There is. I think, yeah, the Flotsam interrogation probably. Oh yeah, they give me some scrap. That's better. Holmes Rock. That's not where I meant to go. It's whatever, it doesn't really matter. I've got plenty of cryo to spare. The only problem is this place fucking sucks for, like, everything. Alright. Bounce out to the spindle. New location discovered. Alright, come on, positive. Damn it. Come on, positive. Damn it. See, now I just don't even hope on the ones. Like, that's it feels like on 50-50s I lose more than I win, I won't lie. That's all I'm saying. Wow, okay, that sucks dick. Sketch a design. Cool. This is gonna be a whole day of failures. Nope, never mind, I'm stupid. I should just shut my fat fucking mouth, I guess. Okay. Cause come on, that's a 50-50? Doesn't seem like it. Doesn't seem like it. Okay, there we go. And, you know, and again, I say... Jesus Christ, 3 in a row. Alright, whatever, man. Fucking whatever. The math ain't mathin', but I don't care anymore. Gotta bounce to the Flotsam before we can fucking... back to the scatter yards and root through... all the shit that needs into it. Oh, I should be doing the one that gives me scrap. Meshing systems as well as scrap. Fill fuel. Back to the scatter yards, and after the scatter yards, we can go to the place. Sleeper, Surya booms as he meets you outside the yard. I couldn't be happier to see you. Tell me, did you find any inspiration out there in the belt? He grins widely. I did. Let me see your work. He holds out a hand and you pass him the color slate. Lovely. He scrolls through the sketches. I'll pass your designs on to my crews. where they will build on them. Surya gestures to the yard. They are the best shipfitters in all of the belt, as you know. If you come to the yard and speak with them, you may choose whichever design you desire. Surya squints at the slate. This hollow drawing is really quite interesting. He reaches into his tool belt and produces a stack of chits. The remainder of your fee. Our business is concluded, he nods, adding a little bow to the movement. I'm a busy man and must get to my business, but thank you again for helping to build a legacy for my yard. Surya folds his arms across his chest. I believe you have work to see to. Imagine, if you will, flying out on the next contract in a fresh livery, a beautiful reinvention from Surya's yard. He gestures widely. When your clients ask why your rig is so beautiful, feel free to send them to me. Surya smiles, bows, and turns to leave. You watch Surya go, still unsure if his entire attitude is an act meant to confuse you into consent. He's a hard man to dislike, but there's something about him you can't quite put a finger on. Either way, it's hard not to feel a little bit thankful for the chance he gave you to look at the belt with new eyes, even if it was flying one of the most garish ships the belt's ever seen. It's not that bad. Proud rig owner. Unlock all possible rig paint jobs. Brighter and elegant. A ramshackle mix of colors and greens, of course, but also simple. Let's try the hollow paint, huh? Give it a look. Not bad. Keep it. Alright. End of Marco's yard. This is gonna be hell. Maybe we actually... Oh, okay. So it is just engine components, but... Oh, or scrap components. Either, I don't really care. No more Marco's stock. We're gonna beef... I think probably our Engage is the one we're gonna do, just because that's like... Endure and Engage are fighty, you know what I mean? And I'm always scrappy. I like to solve problems with violence. And then we keep on keeping on, all the way to Oliveira and the Shoals. You find Oliveira exactly where Ankita said it would be, a ragged colony nestled near a crater on one of the biggest rocks of the Shoals. Seraphim gets no response to his initial broadcasts, and so you find yourself in a docking tunnel, the rig at one end, the colony at the other. No idea what awaits you. I need you to get back on that ship and keep flying. You freeze in the dark tunnel. A figure in front of you holding a long gun at their head. I'm serious. Your eyes adjust to the dark, and as they do, you see a man, no, a boy, carrying a long dark shape in his hands. I don't know how you found us, but you need to leave this place right now and forget this place. Glance over your shoulder and see Seraphim, his hands raised in front of him, and a gesture of calm. Look, kid, we mean no harm. How about you go run and get someone? I am someone. I'm Xander. He sticks out his jaw. It's you I don't know, and I'll decide who's gonna do some harm here. He reaches across his chest and thumps on a lamp he has lashed there. You blink in the glare of a bright light shielding your eyes, and as you do, you see a flicker of confusion crossing Xander's face. He meets your eyes with a look and shock and opens his mouth as if to speak, though no words emerge. We have something for Carmen. You notice the familiar name register with Xander, adding to whatever confusion or question your appearance has provoked. You see his eyes taking in your sleeper body, his gun dropping a little bit as he takes his attention off of it. Is this? He looks between you and Seraphim. Are you here for Flint? He pulls the gun closer to himself. I'll be honest, kid. We have no idea who you're talking about. Seraphim allows himself to drift forward. So how about you drop the gun and we can talk like adults? As Seraphim floats past you, he gives you a look that makes you nervous. Xander? The voice echoes along the docking bridge. Xander, what are you doing? A figure appears at the end of the bridge behind Xander, a young woman clearly older than the boy in front of him. On these two trying to sneak in, Cadence. Xander keeps his eyes on you and Seraphim as he speaks. Saboteurs, maybe? Was about to send them on their way, Xander grins. I assure you, we are not saboteurs, miss. Seraphim smiles at Cadence. Cadence sighs and glides towards Xander. Stop messing around with that welder. She snatches the gun out of Xander's hands, and as she does, both you and Seraphim reflexively flinch. Cadence looks at you two with a raised eyebrow and turns the gun so you can see it better. You notice the fuel tank and welding muzzle. It probably has an effective range less than half a foot. Seraphim looks at Xander and rolls his eyes. Seriously? Cadence lowers the welder to his side and turns to Xander. Now's not the time. We just got an emergency broadcast from Carmen and Flint. Something's happened. Xander's attitude changes immediately. He turns to face Cadence, putting his back to you, as if you had just disappeared completely. What do you mean something's happened? I don't know. They went quiet in the shoals. All we got was a distress signal. Cadence raises her hands reassuringly. Don't get excited. They probably just had a technical fault in the ship, but we should check in anyway. We have to get them. Xander grabs the welder on its back and slings it over his shoulder. In what, Xander? Cadence sighs. They took our only functioning ship. The tender tide's still in pieces in the hangar. Seraphin gives you a nudge and nods towards Cadence and Xander. This is your chance. We have a ship. Xander wheels around in the tunnel, squinting at you in thought. Seraphin moves past you, approaching them. We need to see Carmen, and it seems like Carmen needs our help. It looks between the two of you. So how about we stop messing around in this dingy tunnel and go get your friend? Xander turns back to Cadence. Them? Really? He rolls his eyes. We're not the only people on Oliveira. There must be other ships. You want to go looking? They're here now. Cadence looks at Seraphim. They're generously offering to help. She smiles sheepishly. Fine, Xander folds his arm, but I'm coming with you. Fine by us, Seraphim shakes his head and looks at you. Come on then. You both turn and head back to the ship, Seraphim whispering as you do. What kind of backwater is Ankita sent us to? He said. He sighs. Ankita thinks he's some kind of sheriff. He's just a kid. Yeah, a kid with heavy industrial equipment. What are we talking about? Xander catches up with you and Seraphim. His mood seemed buoyed by the prospect of boarding a ship. You wonder how often he gets to leave Oliveira. Oliveira. Oh, you haven't seen half of it, Xander winks. Wait up, you turn to see Cadence gliding up the tunnel. I changed my mind, I'm coming too. Give me a minute to grab some supplies, she glances at Xander, just in case. Seraphim cuts in. I'll give you a hand. That alright, Sleeper? We'll be there in a sec, he looks at you. You pause, but Seraphim doesn't seem to be waiting for confirmation. As he and Cadence head back to the dock, you were slightly thrown off by his eagerness to be helpful. This is the first time you've actually seen him be welcoming to anybody on board the rig. It's because it's a lady. When you get into the cockpit, you notice Xander looking wide-eyed at the consoles and switches. Cool ship, he grins. After a short wait, Cadence and Seraphim comes back into the cockpit. All loaded up, Seraphim pats Xander on the shoulder. Might want to strap in there, kid. Xander and Cadence find a place to settle, as Seraphim buckles himself into the flight seat. Alright, he turns to Xander. Show us where we go. Show us where to go. Whee! That's me when we go. You head out into the shoals, the thick debris field that surrounds Oliveira. What's happening in here, Sleeper? Those pokes their head into the cockpit as Seraphim brings the ship towards the signal coordinates Xander gave him. You look around the cockpit. Xander is tapping at the co-pilot console mounted in front of his seat in a haphazard way, while Cadence is asking Seraphim about how the rig works. Surprisingly, Seraphim is responding with patience and care. Just some guests. Bliss glances at Xander as Seraphim reaches over and shuts off his console without looking. Isn't he a bit young for this? Yes. Bliss turns back to you. Junie is working on the ship's wiring and won't respond to my messages. She's probably in the wall somewhere, hooked up to the main line. You smile a weak smile. I'm here. So how about you tell me what we were doing in the middle of nowhere? Quiet, Seraphim's voice cuts through the shatter. Is that? He gestures out in the debris field at a sparking, ragged-looking shape, just tucked beside a rock. Xander rushes to the cockpit. Glass. Carmen. A moment of tense silence grips the room. That's his ship. You and Bliss exchange concerned glances. This isn't good. I'll bring her in. Seraphim's eyes fixed on the wreck of the crumpled ship. We don't know anything yet, so everyone calm down. Xander is silent, his face pressed against the glass. Cadence stares out at the wreck, her cheeks pale. No one speaks until the rig is brought to a stop. Alright, now we're going out there, and we'll have a poke around, Seraphim looks between Cadence and Xander. We verify the ship, and we recover the crew. Seraphim gives you and Bliss a nod, and you both push off and glide towards the back of the cockpit. Suddenly, Xander pushes off the cockpit window and glides with you out of the cockpit. I'm coming too. You need someone to identify the ship. To identify... He stops and takes a breath. Are you sure? I'm sure. Xander gets the words out and then pushes on ahead, towards the airlock. You follow behind, ready to suit up and investigate the wreck. Oh wow, so I just get Bliss and Xander, I don't even get to choose? Okay, that's fine, I like it. Bliss is chill. Bliss is good. Alright, well, let's see what all we can get done, yeah? I am good at endure. I love to endure. Neutral outcome? That's fine. We'll just throw in our 4. The search of Carmen's gutted ship has impacted the mood in the rig. As more and more evidence of an attack has appeared, the quieter Xander has gotten, the more Cadence has retreated into the bunks. Now, with the search complete, you are gathered in the cockpit to discuss what's been found. Come on, Cadence floats by the door, hugging herself against the cold. Tell us already. Xander is perched on the back of one of the seats, flicking at some hinged container he found in the wreck. Open and closed, open and closed. Explain carefully. You start by summarizing the search, talking about the details, picking your language carefully. You describe the damage on the ship, but not the attack. You talk about the occupants of the ship without mentioning what might have happened to them. Seraphim quickly cuts in. What Sleeper is saying, he gives you a look, is that the ship was hit with weapons fire. Badly. Then the drive was fired up and they attempted to flee. The drive burnt out and the ship, after hitting multiple rocks and bits of debris, came to a halt here. He takes a breath. We found no bodies. At the mention of the word bodies, a shudder runs through those assembled. Then they're here somewhere? Xander has a steely look in his eyes. And we find them, whatever state they're in. He looks at Cadence. She nods back at him. Xander's right. We aren't leaving them out here. Carmen made Oliveira what he is. He saved us. We won't come back without him. She shivers and looks at Xander. He would do the same for us. Based on the damage to the ship, Seraphim begins. They're almost certainly dead. We get it. Xander cuts him off. But there are debris trails leading away from the ship. I've seen them. There are. Seraphim holds his hands out in a calming manner. But those could be from secondary explosions or depressurization. We picked the wrong trail and it could lead us in circles, cycle after cycle. We better pick the right one. Cadence has Xander's steely look now too. She stares directly at Seraphim, challenging him to answer back. He sighs. That's what we'll do. He looks at you with resignation. Whatever happened here, you won't be leaving until you see its end. Oh, motherfucker. Map debris. Rimward Trail. Sunward Trail. Alright. It's fine. Endure is good. Endure is real good for me. Excellent. We'll rest. Keep going tomorrow. A 5 and a 1. This is gonna be all 6s as long as I keep to endure. Asteroid caves. Search the caves. We'll make a push. Let's keep it up. Let's keep it up. When the starboard trail led to the caves, a little hope was kindled in the hearts of the crew, but after plumbing the depths of these dark passages, the hope seemed snuffed out. Xander struggled on in silence, only speaking to update Cadence on the lack of news via the cockpit comms link. But he speaks now, quietly at first, and then with increasing urgency. A light, Sleeper? I see a light! And with that, he kicks off hard from the wall and darts down a dark tunnel with reckless speed. You follow, but the tunnels are winding, and you quickly lose Xander around a corner. You kick off from the same wall, trying to close the gap, but when you come around the same corner, you can't find Xander anywhere. And then you see it, through a thin slit in the cave wall, a flickering, fading light. You cross over to it and see scratches and chunks scraped out of the rock. Someone has dragged something through here. Push through. You push away some of the floating rock and squeeze yourself into the gap. As you do, you watch the light pulsating inside the cave, setting the cracks and shapes of the rock in sharp relief. You search those shadows for something recognizable, but the light source remains out of sight. And then you are through. You steady yourself against the wall and look towards the light. There, beside a fading emergency lamp, floats a body, its head instantly striking you as strange and mishappen. You know immediately that this must be Carmen. His head is shrouding in an emergency helmet, inflated around him like a balloon, while an oxygen canister floats nearby attached to a tube. His eyes are closed, his body still. You try to settle your gaze on his chest to see the telltale rise and fall, and then the light catches something broken and skeletal nearby, a face with bright eyes watching you. A sleeper, another sleeper. They watch you with lit irises, one just like yours. The torn face reveals no emotion. They pose crouched, coiled even, like a spring ready to strike. You're both frozen, unsure, afraid, nothing moves. Your eyes trace the damages to their suit, to their body. They look broken, worn down, and you wonder if this is how you look to others. If they flinch when they see you, as you feel that you need to know. Carmen! Xander's panicked voice cuts through the silence. He rushes forward to the floating body, and as he does, the other sleeper pulls away from the wall like a statue coming to life. For a moment, you go to intervene, to save Xander from this skeletal figure. But the sleeper falls on Xander to embrace him, and Xander returns the hug. You float stunned, watching as Xander begins to carry Carmen's body from the cave with Flint, the sleeper guiding him. Carmen is stable! Carmen is stable! Cadence comes out from the room that has been a makeshift medbay. She looks between you and Seraphim. Thank you. And Flint? Cadence pauses, choosing her answer carefully. Flint is in there with Carmen. They seem to be functional. She looks away. If that's what you mean. We should head back to Oliveira. Seraphim cuts in, places a hand on your shoulder, and steers you away towards the cockpit. Once you're out of earshot, Seraphim turns to you. Did you know Flint was a sleeper? I did kind of suspect. Seraphim nods. He pauses. I don't want to be suspicious. I was just surprised, that's all. Seraphim glances back towards the medbay. They look different. Different how? Seraphim sighs, unsure of his words. Just never seen a sleeper like that. He looks away. I'll get her started up. He pats you on the shoulder and heads to the cockpit. Let's keep an eye on them, okay? He leaves you floating in the corridor, unsure of what to think. Flint is the first sleeper you have met since you escaped the program, and at this point, those memories are little more than fragments and fictions. As the rumble of the drive runs through the ship, you can't help but feel a little concerned for what this might mean. We have nothing. Contract concluded. We're gone, baby. We out. We're left alone with Xander and Seraphim in the docks while Carmen is carefully carried from the rig by Flint, guided away into one of Oliveira's many tunnels and passages. Okay, I believe you. Xander shrugs his shoulders. Seraphim raises an eyebrow. Believe us how? You weren't saboteurs. He shoots you a sheepish grin. Although, you never know. I'd forgotten that. I won't remind you then, he winks. Tell me, kid. Seraphim folds his arms. Why are you so protective of this place? I mean, no offense, but who'd want to sabotage a tin pot colony in the middle of the shoals? Xander bristles at the comment, but controls his anger. You don't get it. Oliveira is a refuge. Why do you think we're hiding all the way out here? He glances at you and then back at Seraphim. I'd have thought you'd understand what's at stake here. You've seen Flint. Seraphim pauses, unsure of how to respond. He looks embarrassed into silence. Look, Xander says, placing the peacemaker. You brought Carmen back to us. Everyone in Oliveira will thank you for that. How about you stick around for a bit, get a feel for the place. If you need a resupply, we can help. We haven't got much, but if you chip in, you'll get your share. He bows his head a little. We're more welcoming than we appear. Just don't expect to buy anything with those chits of yours. Xander puts his hand in his hips. Oliveira is not for sale. Seraphim shrugs. Alright, kid. He glances at you. We appreciate it, kid. We need to hang around until Carmen is back up and awake anyway. I think we'll be glad of the rest. I'll see you around then. Xander touches his brow in a salute and then kicks away, floating out of the docks. Seraphim turns to you. Well, shore leave doesn't sound so bad. I agree. Seraphim smiles. Alright then, he stretches. I'm gonna head into town and see what's happening. He winks and glides away into Oliveira proper. You are left floating in the docks, unsure of what comes next. Doesn't seem like Lane is going to find you out here, so maybe this is the perfect time to take a breather, at least until you can bring Anquita's drive to Carmen. You turn that little thumbnail drive over in your pocket. Time to see what Oliveira has to offer. The clinic. Scrap silos, component hunt. Farm stacks. That's for supply gathering. The canteen. The hydro refinery, I'm assuming, is for fuel. Yep. Plenty of fuel. Process some scrap. Raw scrap. Scrap components. Canteen. Oh, we can visit. You tend to get served based on how well they like you, I think, is what I just saw. Well, we'll source some supplies. I'm sure they can do that. They're smart. As you leave the rig, you find a figure waiting for you in the docking tunnel. You think of Xander's hostile greeting when you first arrived. Is that him again? Oh, it's Flint. Where are you headed? Flint leans away from the wall. Now out of the battered suit you first saw them in, the damage to their frame is concealed beneath their overalls. You're still aware of it, just beneath the surface. Scrap sorting. Same. Flint nods in the direction of the colony. I'll join you. You float together through the docks in silence. Flint makes you nervous, and their insistence on intercepting you this cycle hasn't exactly calmed that sensation. Breaking the silence eventually becomes unavoidable. Why Flint? Flint stares ahead, continuing their glide. Ask Carmen. He insisted on it. The mention of Carmen's name recalls the image of him floating unconscious in the light of your... Harlequin is around here doing something. The mention of Carmen's name recalls the image of him floating unconscious in the light of your work lamps in those deep and winding caves. You suppress a shudder. Flint gives you a sideways look, their mask-like face betraying no emotion. It's good you found us. They pause as you both move through a doorway. Could have been sooner, they blink. Better than nothing. I got there pretty damn quick. Looking at Flint gives you an unsettling feeling, like catching your own reflection in a polished hull plate. Is this what others feel like when they speak with you? Watching the crooked mask, the lit irises for signs of human emotion? Interpreting the strutting emotions of facial expressions as they cross your doll-like face? Flint turns away again, and you realize that they might feel the same looking at you, each the other's mirror, each reminding the other of the gap between being and being seen. How did you escape? Escape SNARP, you mean? Flint pauses. We aren't there yet, friend. We can share war stories another time. You arrive together in the cavernous hall containing the scrap silos, the cacophonous echoing of sorting already filling the air. So, Sleeper, Flint's face curls in amusement as he uses the mononym everyone refers to you by. Olivera asks all of it harbors to contribute to the colony. Show me what you can do. Neutral, not positive. You and Flint glide into the sorting bay, where scrap from the silos is delivered to the waiting workers, ready to be checked, cleaned, and cast into the different nets at the fringes of the space. You find a sorting station and begin picking up chunks of ship and machine, turning them over in your hands. Where is she? Harlequin! Oh my gosh, she's in the trash can next to me. What are... Harlequin, you are not a trash kitty. How many times do you have to be told this? How many times do you have to be told this? I'm like looking around trying to find her. She's in the trash. Like, why? Why are you in the trash, Harley? Like, what's the purpose? Turning them over in your hands. Wait, I read that, right? Yeah, I did. At first, the scrap looks like nothing, chaotic chunks of destruction and decay. But you force yourself to focus, to pay attention, to remember the ships and systems you have seen, and their anatomies. You burn away corrosion with a torch, crack open rusted casings to release the components inside, like seeds. You find new life in the broken and discarded pieces. Why are you being such a menace? What's up? What's up with you? Touching your feetsies. Something makes you look to one side. A glint that catches your eye. There's Flint taking a rest of their own. You see a glint again. Flint turning something over in their fingers, watching it spin, a vial of stabilizer. My last vial. Flint speaks without taking their eyes off the drug, even though the haze of your lost memories. You can recall the fizzing, sickening pulse of the injection, the dependence your reboot freed you from. Saving it for a special occasion, Flint pockets the vial and meets your eye. You don't need a stabilizer, do you? Flint moves away from the wall they were resting against. I noticed you were different from the first moment you read, but I didn't realize what it was until now. The way you work, the way you move, without dependence, I see it now. Flint folds their arms. Tell them about the reboot. You tell them about the process you and Seraphim attempted on Darkseid, the one that Lane interrupted. They listen absent-mindedly, watching the workers instead of you. That's not all, though, is it? Flint meets your eye. There's something wrong with you. More than just your decaying frame, your signal presence. It smells different. I'm changing. Flint looks you up and down. I can see that, but I wonder what you are changing into. I know who I am, what I bring to this place. All of these people are at risk because of me. They look out at the workers. That means you, too, are a risk to your crew, to me, and more importantly, to this place. Olivera will welcome you, just as it welcomed me, Flint stretches. And it will do so in spite of itself and its own safety. I want you to know that, because they will pay the cost, those close to you, and you must know that they pay it for you. With that, Flint turns and glides away, leaving no space for a response. You watch them leave, their billowing cloak revealing and concealing the glinting and ragged parts of their exposed skeleton as they go. The sound of raised voices echoes through the tunnel. Following them, you find yourself at the entrance to the clinic, where Flint and Xander are locked in a bitter argument. I won't take you out there, Flint, Xander is pleading with the sleeper. Look what happened to Carmen. They'll kill you too. Or they'll kill you. What happened to Carmen is exactly why I have to go. They will find me here, and when that happens, the whole colony can hear you too. Seraphin comes out of the clinic with Cadence. Trying to wake up Carmen? You see Seraphin clock you, standing in the passageway. Your eyes meet and Seraphin looks away. Neither of you have seen each other since you brought Carmen back to Oliveira. I'm trying to make sure what happened to Carmen doesn't happen to anyone else. Flint folds their arm. I'm the reason he is like he is, and that means it's on me to fix it. What are you talking about? You catch Flint off guard. They hadn't seen you waiting in the passageway. SNARP came from me. That's what happened out in the debris field. They looked down. You know what that means. SNARP, the company that created you, the company you escaped. The idea of them bearing down on this place sets your nerves on edge. You have long since slipped their grasp. Lane disabled your tracker in exchange for unwavering service, a gift that became a trap. There's treasure in there? I don't know where you were saying there's treasure in. I'm so sorry. But Flint is still on the run, and if SNARP attacked Carmen's ship, they can't be far away. You look at Flint and see the fear in their eyes. Your tracker is still active. Harley is looking for treasure in the trash. Yes, of course. Oliveira is shrouded. Flint looks towards the center of the colony. Carmage managed to get a hold of the signal shroud and shut it up here. He wanted to keep everyone safe. There's no way SNARP can track me here. Am I missing something? Seraphin interrupts. They can't find you here. What's the problem? It's not just about the tracker. That hunter found me in the debris field. They know I escaped. It's only a matter of time before their search brings them here. Silence falls in the group. As the inevitability of the program sets in, Xander looks distraught. You can't, Flint, Xander says in a quiet voice. They'll kill you. Seraphin glances at you and Flint in turn, and you see his mind working on a solution. He looks away, frowning. I'm sorry, Xander. This is how it is. Flint looks dejected. Unless we get them first. Seraphin smiles an impish smile. Seraphin, what are you thinking? Cadence speaks up for the first time. We know there's a hunter out there scouring the shoals, and we know they're looking for you, Flint. Seraphin shrugs. That means we have the upper hand. We don't need to bring them here. We can bring them anywhere we want. Seraphin looks around at the group. So we get set, we prepare a little surprise, and then we wait. Flint is already shaking their head. The hunter could arrive here at any moment. We don't have time for this. If I had a ship, I would have left already. Then we move you now. We take you somewhere we can repair, and we work hard and fast to get an ambush set. When the hunter comes, Seraphin grins, we spring the trap. It's a good plan. Seraphin smiles. See, you might not trust me, Flint, but another sleeper? Flint doesn't respond immediately. You can see them thinking it through, considering their options. I'm coming. Xander has a determined look on his face. We're doing this and I'm coming. Look, kid, I appreciate your enthusiasm, but this is the real thing. A bounty hunter is not going to. Stop patronizing me, Xander cuts him off. I know the shoals. You need me out there. The conversation suddenly devolves into many small arguments. The location, who should go, how to approach the ambush, the noise grows. The old Solheim manufactory. Caden's voice rises clear and precise through the noise. That's where you do it. It's on a rock far enough from here, and it's a real labyrinth. You can lead the hunter there and get them lost inside. Cadence's eyes are bright and determined. The place is full of old machines, ordnance. We've been afraid to scavenge any of it, so it's unstable. It's so unstable. You notice Seraphin watching Cadence speak, clearly impressed by the sudden shift towards decisive action. We could bring the whole place down on their head. Xander picks up Cadence's thread. I know the manufactory. It's a good idea. You look between those gathered. Seraphin stubborn and protective, Cadence sharp eyes, Xander's restless desire to get involved, and Flint, a sleeper like you, a sleeper in need of an escape. Carmen was building something here, a shrouded haven, a place that needs protecting. He may be unconscious, but behind those doors, floating amongst the wires and tubes of the clinic, but something of him is in there, in this group, making a plan of resistance. Flint's eyes meet yours, and you know what has to be done. The rig will leave Oliveira this cycle. You have a hunter to trap. Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do. It feels... there is something so pleasing about, like, the game being, like, cause, like, in the last game, we had to escape SNR. We had to be the one, you know, trekking out and begging people for help. And now we don't have to, like, like, we get to be the help instead of, I think that's a good way to shift things. Old manufactory, baby. Okay, who do we take? Junie and Nia might be the good choice. I think Junie and Nia, maybe. I need the Intuit bad. So we'll take Nia. We'll take Eugen. Muscle's good to have, I think. We'll take Eugen. Eugen's trustworthy. I like Eugen. Corroded plates, twisted struts, scattered scrap. The manufactory makes for a sight. Just one more ragged artifact from the corporation that once owned this system. Despite that, something about it sets you on edge. Perhaps because it will also form the crucible for your attempt to take on an SNR punter. The kind whose entire job is to bring in escaped sleepers, like you, dead or alive. The rig is tucked behind a rock, running on low power with its transponder off. You hope that's enough not to draw attention. So talk us through it, Seraphin turns back to Flint, Cadence, and Xander, all of whom were crammed in the cockpit along with your crew. We have to make this place look like a colony. It's what the hunter will expect, Cadence suggests first, her voice quavering a little with anxiety. We can seal up some of the holes, maybe install some lighting, fake it up. Okay, Seraphin nods reassuringly. That's good. What then? We force them to go deep, Xander cuts in, and everyone looks at him. He pauses, a little intimidated by the attention, but Flint nods at him to continue. I've been out here before, on a salvage run. There's an assembly line that runs through the whole place, filled with old manufacturing machines. You seal doors, activate machines, make it a maze of malfunctioning construction arms and dead ends. Alright then, control their route. I like it. Seraphin smiles at Xander. And if we get lucky, maybe one of those old machines will do the job for us. I doubt it, Flint joins in. We'll need the ordnance from the silos, mining charges, fuel, whatever is left from when the place was churning out Solheim goods, they furrow their brow. We'll blow the place to make sure. A silence passes through the cockpit, the danger of what you're about to attempt dawning on everyone present. Okay, Seraphin has a dark look. That's the plan. We can detonate the ordnance with a command from the rig, a simple wideband comm signal. We'll get them, Seraphin pats Flint on the shoulder. Once they go in, that hunter isn't coming back out. He turns to you. Anything we missed? What if they don't take the bait? Then I engage. Flint rub their hands together nervously. I lead them directly in. I lead them indirectly, right? Right, Seraphin confirms grimly. How long do you think we have? There's a lot of factory down here. The hunter got to me and Carmen fast, Flint looks out of the cockpit. No more than 3 cycles. When the hunter came for us, Flint grimaces, remembering the attack on Carmen's ship. They came out of nowhere, hit us hard and fast. If it wasn't for Carmen, we need to be ready for anything. Flint looks at you. There won't be a warning. Seraphin sighs. Nice pep talk. Flint, you better find somewhere deep in the place, down on the bedrock. Make sure it has a back door, okay? He nods at the sleeper. And the rest of us will go to work. Alright, you heard Flint. We do this and we do it right. We make our stand on this rock. Let's not waste a moment more. Oh, holy shit, Eugen! Okay. We need explosives. We need seal interior, disguise interior. Okay. Hunter's arrival. Okay. We've got 3 parts to do here. Wow, holy shit, is there nothing for Nia to do. Not really. Oh, wait, no, yes, there is. Disguise and exterior is all Nia. Harlequin? Stop your nonsense. You get the work, you get the job done, Eugen. Okay, it's fine. Eugen's got this. Eugen gets the job done. I'll get to work on this one. It's coming full circle. It's coming full circle, baby. It's true, it is coming full circle. I'm assuming I kind of glanced over that when you actually sent it. I apologize for that. Ooh, that sucks. Make a push. Enticement. You know, Caden's voice comes over the comms, shimmering with interference. From here, it doesn't look half bad. Look across the shell of the manufactory, now strutted with lights and dotted with markings, the fresh welds and plates giving the whole place a fragile patchwork feeling. If I was a piece of shit hunter, this was what I would look for. a normal personal settlement would look like, right? Right. Cadence goes quiet for a moment, her attempt at humor only serving to remind you both of the desperate circumstances. Have you spoken to Flint? Cadence pauses. I mean, really spoken? We've spoken enough. Right, Cadence searches for a response. Flint is very loyal. I know they are quiet and, well, intense, but she sighs. I just hope you two can find some common ground. We get on just fine. Of course, sorry. Cadence stops again. Oliveira is a refuge, Cadence takes a breath. For all of us. I was in trouble when I met Carmen. We all were in one way or another. Seraphin has told me a lot about you, Cadence hesitates, and I can see what you were trying to do for Flint, for Oliveira. I appreciate it, and I know Xander does, and Carmen will do as well, and Flint, Cadence pauses, well, you'll see. Comms click off, returning to the silence of the manufactory. You look out across the false colony at the glittering lights. They are a poor imitation of Oliveira's real lights, those that indicate the colony's fragile, delicate state. Shake it off and move. This isn't over yet. You goddamn right it ain't. I gotta keep doing this. Entrapment, baby. You float for a moment, observing the chaos of the old assembly line. The scale of the structure, the number of the machines, the arms and fabricators, the welders and bolters suggest industry on a scale you have never witnessed. The Helion system, a system that now subsists on the leftovers of its failed corporate owners, was once filled with manufactories like this, churning out components and technologies, machines and resources for extracting the valuable materials and minerals that Solheim existed to amass. If someone was able to rebuild one of those places, put it back into operation, imagine what could be fed into the belt, what changes could come for its people. Yet no one will undertake such a task because this place is haunted by the specter of Solheim, an entity that every being in this system can trace their origins back to, an entity that turned the entire system into a manufacturer, a machine for accumulation, and that did not distinguish between human and machines, as it did. Look at the broken machines, worn down and rusted, crippled and bent. Some of them have been put back together into use this past cycle as part of your plan, and those jerk return randomly, blindly groping for components that will never be fed to them. None of them are sentient machines like you, and so they cannot feel or think, and yet you cannot decide if for them to persist it is a kind of cruelty that radiates from the system that created them, or the indication of new life, one that grants the new function, new meaning, and the possibility of something more. Creepy, right? Xander floats beside you, his voice hissing through the close-range comms. Maybe the hunter will get spooked by those twitching arms. He imitates the scattered movements of the factory machines. More sad than creepy. Xander shrugs. If you say so. So, Xander gives you a look. How come this hunter isn't chasing you? My tracker is deactivated. Huh? Xander shooks you a look. Lucky you. Who did that? My captor. Xander goes quiet, I see. I can't deactivate Flint's. Sure, Xander looks down. But maybe once we're done here, he meets your eye. They need your help. Xander looks out at the assembly line and sighs. I like Flint. I'm happy to do this for them. He looks back to you. And I want to like you too. So don't mess this up, alright? Xander gives you a hard look. Don't let Flint down. Xander kicks off and glides towards the exit without waiting for a response. You watch him go for a moment before turning away. There's still so much to do. Not that much, really. A little, though. Damn, that sucks. Alright. Another dice break. Yep. It's okay. We got a good ass fucking set of rolls here. We might not even need to make a push. We got it, baby. Set a 3-stage trap for the hunter. Memories of Maywick. Fuck you, Maywick. I shot that bitch, too. Go easy with that. Flint's voice rumbles over the local comms as you secure the final piece of ordnance. You turn to see them floating, backlit in the entrance to the bay, one of many that you have rigged with ordnance deep in the manufactory. Down here, dust and flecks of rust float through the beams of your lights, and the walls are bent and buckled. They've spent the past cycles here, picking out a spot to draw the hunter down to. One they should be able to slip out of when the hunter finds their way in. It's a long time to be down in these dark tunnels waiting. Looks like we're just about done. Their voices flat, their tone pragmatic. You okay? Flint nods, eager to be done with this. They look over their shoulder. However it plays out. Flint glides into the bay slowly. There's something I need to tell you. Something I think you'll understand. What we're doing out here is not about saving me. It's about Oliveira. You struggle to see Flint's face within the light behind them. I should be on a ship out of there, leading this hunter away, but they won't let me do that. They shake their head in frustration. And even if they would, they can't spare the ship, not after Carmen's got shot up. That was my mistake. I never should have let him persuade me to come with him on that supply run, Flint looks down. What's done is done. What matters now, what I need from you is a promise. Flint's bright irises flash. That you'll bring this place down with me in it, if it means stopping the hunter. I won't do that. You will. Flint drifts a little closer. You know as well as I that those who get close to us are at risk. That we, as sleepers, have to recognize what we open the door to. Carmen isn't my fault. I won't be Oliveira's downfall too. With that, they turn and leave you in the dark. You will is crazy. Alright. Bring in the hunter! I will show him what I am going to be doing to him. Wake up, sleeper. Seraphin's in the bunks. We've got incoming. You shake off the haze of forgotten dreams and get up. In moments, you are in the cockpit. Xander, Cadence, and Seraphin all gathered around the console. On it, the local view shows nothing, not a single ship signal, and few objects beyond a scattering of debris. It was right here. I swear it. Seraphin jabs at the screen. A ship, small, but definitely a ship. Seraphin, Cadence sighs. We've been up a while. Get some rest. I know what I saw. He catches her eye. You look at the screen, its gridded view showing the scattered signature of debris, like schools of fish drifting in soft current. The manufactory is a noisy blob at the center of the circle, one that dissolves in the background at its edges. Nothing. And then there it is, a flicker, a flash, a spark of movement and light amongst one of the debris clouds. It flares, then it is gone again. Okay, it's fine. You look up and Seraphin meets your eye. He reads your expression immediately. Seraphin slams a hand down on the console, opening up the comms channel. Look alive, Flint. They're coming in. Go deep and be ready to run. He pulls his hand off the switch. We better hope they heard that. Then you see it. Through the cockpit glass, the flare of an engine, faint and masked, but driving a squat, dark ship out of the debris. The Hunter. The ship seems to idle a little near the manufactory's asteroid, drifting past the dressed-up shell of the old facility. Time to see if our fake colony is convincing enough. Cadence nervously clasps her hand together. Will they buy it? They better, Seraphin looks concerned. Because if they think this place looks abandoned, the Hunter might just strafe the whole facility, Seraphin swallows hard. We need them to dock, to come inside. You look out at the ship, and as you do, it jumps forward, toward the docking tower. You watch a few tense moments as it hesitates, and then slides into position on one of the docking bridges. Kate sighs in relief. They went for it. Seraphin pats you on the shoulder. Good job. The rat is in the maze. You can track them now, he exhales. At least that's the theory. I hooked up some basic monitoring devices in the assembly line. Xander calls over from another console. A few shitty cameras repurposed from the factory monitoring systems. Not much, but hopefully enough to tell us where they are at. Cadence, Seraphin, and you crowd around the screen. Xander flicks between noisy black and white images and feeds of static. You squint into the fizzing dark, trying to pick out any detail. Then suddenly you see them. Okay, Jesus Christ. A shadow drifting beneath the flickering light, dark-clad in military gear, a long gun held ready at their shoulder, deathly pale skin, and in their eyes, gleaming through the faceplate, glowing irises. Who the hell is that? Seraphin pulls back from the screen. They look like a sleeper. Xander finishes Seraphin's sentence. The figure disappears outside the margins of the frame, and Xander flicks through the feeds. Where did they go? You drift back from the screen, trying to think straight. The Hunter is a sleeper. Or something else. You replay the image of the figure in your mind. It has already shifted in your memory. It is your face stirring back. It is Flint's. It is the sleeper's mask of death. Sleeper, Seraphin grabs you both by the shoulders and looks you in the eye. We need to focus. We should get down there. Xander's eyes are wide. This changes things. This changes nothing. Seraphin nods. We wait for Flint's signal. We hold here. The ordnance is in place. Seraphin looks at you for reassurance. The moment we get the signal, we blow it. You think of the mining charges rigged in daisy chains, the fuel's barrels lashed to detonators, the command code ready to transmit from the rig. Seraphin sees the determination in your eyes. We hold. So you wait. Cadence eyes on the manufactory below. Xander tapping at the glass. Seraphin perched by the console, listening for the signal. Then you hear it, the hiss of an open comms channel. You look to Seraphin, he hears it too. A static haze that fills the cockpit. You all go still. Seraphim nods towards the indicator on the console. It's Flynn channel. A click, a scrape, then silence. Seraphim frowns, tapping at the controls. What? He scrolls. Flint's transceiver is gone. It's dead. Panic hits the cockpit. Xander gliding over the console. Cadence going pale. Sleeper. Seraphim turns to you and looks back over his shoulder towards you. We need to go in. Go. Cadence looks between you, Seraphim, and Xander with a steely expression. I'll stay in here. She glances nervously at the console. Give me the signal and I'll send the detonation signal. She swallows hard. If it works. Seraphim looks torn for a moment, and then nods. Let's go. You rush down the airlock and suit up with the others, and then you are out, descending through the rock-strewn void in tense silence. You enter the manufactory in a gap in the frame, passing through layers of twisted facility into the deep parts where you know Flint waits in the dark. You say nothing to each other, afraid the comms will be intercepted. You lead Xander and Seraphim on, seeking the deep bays under the silos, where you began setting up the ordnance. Though unfinished, perhaps there is enough down there for this to work. If not, it wasn't unfinished, I finished it! Seraphim's hands fall on your shoulder, pulling you back. You go to speak, and then you see it, a torch beam lancing through the dark. The hunter as you saw them, on the grainy footage of Xander's cameras, but real now, just below, a long gun held steady in their shoulder, pushing through the dark at broken layers of the facility, seeking Flint. Seraphim, Xander, and you exchange wide-eyed glances in silence. The hunter passes below, disappearing into a dark passage. You wait together, the moment stretching out, then descend down into the same passage. The silence is absolute. Suddenly, there is a flash of light ahead, bright and forceful, and a rumble that shakes rust from the walls. Xander pushes off hard, launching past you into the dark. Seraphim goes too, and you instinctively glide forward as another rumble shakes the foundations of the facility. You come into a low bay, scattered with glowing embers, scorched holes in the wall, spews of drops of red-hot metal, where a weapon has been discharged. The hunter floats at the center, taking aim again, and then you see a flicker of movement from the far side, Flint retreating. Oh baby, you are getting fucked! Before you can act, a slight figure in a suit slams into the back of the hunter, Xander. As he hits, the hunter gun spins out of their hand. Rush the hunter! Rush the hunter! You slam into the hunter, lashing out with your fists. You feel Xander at your side, striking out too. The three of you spin through the spark-filled bay towards a gaping dark shaft at its far side. The hunter, dazed from the blows, kicks out against the two of you, sending themselves spinning away, their torch slipping from their grip and arcing across the bay. As it does, they fall back, unable to find anything to slow their glide, spinning into the dark. The hunter disappears down the shaft as you and Xander drift back into the bay. I've got Flint, Seraphim calls out over local comms. We ascend, now! You look across to the two of them, kicking off from the floor to the bay from the floor of the bay towards a ragged hole in the ceiling. You and Xander exchange a single glance, then follow. Cadence, Seraphim is on the wideband. Detonate this place now. Send the command. There is silence. You ascend through it, through the layers of the manufactory, seeking the open void of space beyond. You clear the manufactory, gliding into open space. A silent shockwave like a gust of wind runs through the void. The silent rumble spits out a scatter of debris. You turn back, still gliding towards the ship, and see the shattered manufactory. Whole sections are bending outward, the frame shredded, plating tumbling away in shards. You look across Seraphim and Flint, their eyes set on the ship, trying only to stay ahead of the debris. You do the same, fixing your attention on the rig and nothing else. The hunter is dead. Ding dong, the wicked bitch is dead! The wicked bitch is dead! You limp back to Oliveira, the mood in the rig one of deep exhaustion, but as the colony appears, visible from the cockpit, the satisfaction of having run a terrifying gauntlet and come back in one piece shifts the mood. The crew's improved mood only becomes more obvious as you draw closer to Oliveira, and you come in the dock with the colony. You feel a wave of relief. Seraphim pats you on the shoulder as you both wait for the airlock to open. That hunter, he sighs. SNARP is cooler than I could have imagined. Doesn't surprise me. It's a nasty logic. Send a sleeper to catch a sleeper. Seraphim shakes his head. I'm glad we bought Flint some freedom. The airlock hisses open, revealing the docking bridge where Seraphim first confronted you. This time, another, more substantial figure waits in the passage. Carmen! I hear you're the ones I should be thanking for saving my life. Carmen leans against the side of the tunnel, one arm clamped against his waist. So thank you, he nods at the two of you. Good to see you up. Just about, although I'm told I shouldn't be, he smiles slyly. Carmen, Cadence rushes past the two of you, gliding into Carmen with an embrace strong enough to leave the injured man off balance. Alright, careful, you don't want to be put me back in the med bay now, do you? Carmen pushes Cadence back with a gentle grip on her shoulders. He flinches as he does, his joke clearly holding some truth. Sorry, Cadence smiles. Just glad to see you. A frown crosses Carmen's face. Where's Xander? Losing your vision, old man? You look back to see Xander and Flint behind you in the tunnel. Xander smiles widely at Carmen, betraying his happiness to see him. I'll be just fine, Zan. Carmen's words are confident, but his tone suggests he isn't convinced. You notice his hands are tightly balled into fists as if resisting pain, and wonder if he should really be up at all. Carmen turns to look at you and Seraphim. I think we need to talk. How about you two and Flint accompany me to the med bay? Carmen moves. Flint pushes past both of you and goes to Carmen, helping him out of the tunnel. As he does, they exchange a few words, but you are too far to make them out. You and Seraphim exchange glances and follow behind them into Olivera. Carmen leads you into a small recovery chamber in the med bay, where his bed is set up. A handful of tubes and wires float gently beside it, attached to boxy devices. Flint has already left the group, leaving just you and Seraphim with Olivera's injured founder. Carmen meets your eye with a hard look. So how did you two end up stumbling onto our colony in the shoals? He raises an eyebrow. Because we're not usually open to visitors. Ankita sent us to you. See the flicker of recognition in Carmen's eyes when you mention Ankita. Produce the thumbnail drive, holding it out for Carmen to inspect. She told the sleeper to deliver this to you and you alone. Seraphim folds his arms. Carmen pauses thoughtfully. That's a name I have not heard in a while. He takes the drive. It seems I should thank you again, he sighs. Perhaps I owe you some explanation myself. Ankita and I used to work together a lifetime ago. Carmen shakes his head. We went our separate ways, but then she turned back up in Olivera. I established this colony as a refuge, a way of starting again. Carmen clasps his hand together. The belt is changing, and I am afraid of what is coming. Hi! Ankita took refuge here for a short while, and then one cycle she was gone. Carmen shrugs. That's not unusual for her. Each of us has our own demons. He holds up the drive. I'll take a look at what's on here when I'm able. He looks at the drive with concern, and I'll let you know what I find. You and Seraphim thank him. Leave the chamber as he settles back on his recovery bed. As you leave, Flint catches your attention. Can we speak? Seraphim pauses. I'll catch you back on the rig. He looks between the two of you, and then glides away. Flint hovers, a look of concern on their mask-like face. What do you need? Flint gives you a curious look. You don't remember any of it, do you? Any of what? Of how you got here? Of your history? Flint screws up their face in a pained expression. At first I thought you were hiding something or you were intentionally avoiding the subject, so I waited. But I understand it now. You don't remember me at all. You take a moment to think, to try to recall, friend. You furrow your brow in frustration, sifting through hazy memories of Darkside and further back of your arrival to the belt. You close your eyes and see the faces of other sleepers, panicked, desperate in darkness. I don't remember. We worked together in the same S&R mining installation, along with the other sleepers. He searches your eye for a spark of recognition. We weren't close. I'm not sure we really spoke. Very few of us did. But I was there when we planned the escape together. The run to the freighter, collapsing the mine shaft. Flint stops, struggling to continue in the face of the blank look you were giving them. You feel an unpleasant itch as if something crawling around inside your skull. You can see that Flint wants you to recall them, to recall the escape, the installation, but you only find hazy sensations beneath them pain. I'm sorry, I don't mean to. Flint looks down. I know you can't help it. I just needed to say something, to know if you really don't remember. Thank you for everything you've done for me, and for Olivera. Flint turns and drifts away, dejectedly unable to continue. As you watch Flint go, you scratch the side of your head trying to find something in the way they move, the way they speak, their mask-like face, a face that was identical to yours when it was first cast, but that over cycle after cycle, the wear and damage has been transformed. Two machines so close in form and function, estranged by experience. Oh, holy shit. Oh, that's awful. That feels bad, man. Oh. I think you don't remember me is probably one of the most hurtful things that you can say to me. It feels wrong. It does not feel correct for someone to be like, you don't remember me? Like, it feels wrong and hurtful and bad. Just bad. Just no good, very bad. But, my friends, that is all the time we had for today. So I hope you appreciated the stream, you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you around tomorrow where we might finish Citizen Sleeper 2. Maybe. I know, Megan, I know, you just got here. But, you're right, Red did just get here. Unfortunately, I have been streaming for 3 hours. It's time for me to go. I give you guys a good stream. It's time for me to go. Bye-bye. I love you. I'll see you tomorrow.